naman na may Hero Forge, ano na tayo lahat.
Let's go!
Okay.
Kung mag-session 0 tayo, magkakaroon tayo ng literal character creation together.
Yay!
Parang Diablo, no? Sa campfire.
Yay! I'm
Wala,
game
no?
for that.
Kasi 15 PCs ata magawa mo sa isang month na subscription.
15
So,
for 1 month. Not bad.
makamura ka ng instead of $7, parang $3.50 ata. So, parang lang din nagpa-print ng PC mo,
Mm-mm.
pero sa digital lang.
Hey, Hero Forge, do you hear us? How about giving us some of that, ano? How about giving us
Sponsorship.
some of that sponsorship shit? Critical Role doesn't need it. The greasy snitches don't fucking need that shit anymore. We need it. We have...
Yung Dimension 20, yung Hero for ano yun sila? Tailspire talaga.
Mm.
Yung nagkaroon sila yung COVID time na online yung mga games.
Ganon? Tailspire din sila? Nice.
Yes. So, G-check?
GDM.
Jean,
Gee.
asan ka magro-roll?
Sa Discord na siguro.
Discord? Okay.
I'll log in sa laptop in a few. Minunak mo na yung mobile. Para maka-log in. Minunak mo na yung mobile. Para maka-log in. Minunak mo na yung mobile.
Okay, so, can we start?
We're live on Twitch, bro. Yes, let's go, DM.
G-check, child pornography.
Oh, no, I'm not.
What?
Gene check.
Gene check.
G-check.
Gene check.
Please don't mention that shit, Fonzi. I only have 23 followers.
At least. Okay, so welcome back to my table.
Hi.
And this adventure is called The Lost of Gillian's Hill. Assuming that you all 5 of you already know each other, probably from a previous adventure that you did not level up in. However, hopefully, if we survive this adventure, you will level up to level 2, and you shall see where we will go after that. You, 5 of you, have received a missive. Something that you found, perhaps, the wall of a tavern or a bulletin board of such. The missive reads, "Wanted. There is a rising concern in a small town south of Daggerford called Gillian's Hill. A number of children have mysteriously disappeared, and all of our requests from the guilds of Waterdeep and Daggerford have been silent. We are requesting assistance from the kind-hearted and hopefully cheap adventurers who are capable of recovering our missing children. If you are interested in taking this noble quest, please take this missive to the town of Gillian's Hill, travel expenses not covered, and look for Mayor Tevier. You will be rewarded with favor and our humble fortune." The next few days have been in preparation of your travel to Gillian's Hill, passing through the Tradesway, which is the road going south towards Daggerford and further south to Gillian's Hill. Now, Gillian's Hill is, as all of you know probably at this point, is one of the small towns of the 4 hamlets located in the Tradeway. So a hamlet is smaller than a village, essentially. So this small and humble town is populated mostly by farmers, particularly milk farmers. This small town or hamlet is renowned to be a very humble one, but one that is laden with a dark magical history. All of these things seem to have been forgotten. What has replaced the dark past is now a quiet town of farmers and sounds of cows. So as you are making your way through to the Tradesway, can we go around and introduce our characters? Starting with... Who is this guy? This is Illidan. I know, that is Pax Tangere ba? Jean, is that your character? Jin?
That's Pax. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Yep.
Pax
Go ahead,
Tangere. Yep. So you see a dark-haired human, leather armor, and no pupils. Telltale sign that he's a warlock. Or a magic user at least. He joins the party and kind of gives a nod of recognition. The people that he's worked before, and he sits down calmly and just uh, tells them, "It's nice to see you all again." And then, parang kind of drifts away into lost in his thoughts.
A very strange circumstance as your party mate suddenly sits down as you're traveling towards the tradesway. You take a pause and you look at him. Very strange indeed. As it is now Tobias, can you kindly introduce your character, please?
Hello. So Tobias Fate, he is a cleric. He is tall, good-looking male with little tanned skin. He wears a long dark hair which he wears loosely. He smells pretty good. You see him wearing a parang dandy wide brimmed hat with golden ornaments along with a long black coat. He is wearing a salmon vest and a white button-up shirt with black tight pants and boots. Yeah, and he says to everyone, "Hello there."
Hello there. As the words ring true as the smell of his musk permeates the air. Nico, would you kindly introduce your character, please?
Right. So you see this towering figure, almost 7 feet, all fur, but he does have a cloth belt, which signifies his monastic order, and strapped to his back is a hand axe, and that is Myung Ki. He just sorts of lets out a parang animal sound like
A guttural
Monkey.
roar.
Myung Ki, a very strange companion indeed. As you were traveling across Waterdeep into the Tradesway, Myung Ki, you definitely saw a lot of strange and gazes, making it a little bit uncomfortable, but you're used to that. You're used to that being a bugbear walking around town. And yeah, that is Myung Ki. Following Myung Ki is Carlo. Can you kindly introduce your character, please?
Hey, my character.
Makita nyo ba yung spotlight?
Yeah, we can see the spotlight.
Makita.
Yeah.
Kita naman.
Okay. Ayan. Blurred lang ng konti si ano. Yun, but that's okay. Ayan.
don't follow the light.
Kaya you see before you a medium humanoid with fair but pale skin and white swept back hair. He has blue eyes and a very stoic, somber expression in his face. In terms of what he's wearing long silver buttoned blue coat with 3 separated coattails, and underneath that coat is just a menagerie of chainmail of metal straps, of plates of metal strapped by other strapped ano tawag mo dito, strapped by or rather joined by other plates of metal to form a chainmail. That's what you see. And he says, "Let's just get this over with."
Very stern disposition coming from Caan, followed by a dark-skinned elf. EJ, can you kindly introduce your character?
Sure thing, DM. So you see a short, thin moon elf with dark blue. Well, for my picture, it isn't really dark blue, but it's supposed to be dark blue skin. Navy, no, light blue hair, uh, bordering on silver, wearing wizardly robes, and he has this thick spell book on his right hip. On his left, you see a short sword in its scabbard. As he walks, you see that the robes are flowing and of elven make, probably um, a little bit more on the expensive side than the usual clothing that people wear. Uh, Despite that, he responds to his comrades' comments and says, "Well, I do need some gold, so I agree. Let's get this over with."
Let's get this over with indeed. As you are traveling across the tradesway, a little theater of the mind na lang muna tayo. No? As you're traveling across, you do... the tradesway is a very wide berthed highway connecting all the major cities across the Sword Coast. So as you're traveling south, you've probably been traveling for a day or two already. You and past the city of Daggerford at this point, you do see in the distance something resembling a checkpoint of sorts. Any one of you would like to roll a perception check, please?
Sure thing. Paano
Uh,
ako mag-roll? Ay, isa lang? Okay. Ay,
Ayun,
Oh my
space,
God.
space.
Sino
space,
lang?
and then... Go.
That's
Oh my
23.
God.
Okay.
Hi.
That's 6.
That's 7.
Myung Ki, with your bugbear eyes, you do see in the distance what seems to be a small settlement or a small camp interviewing a small group of farmers. And after a while, they kind of let them in as if na parang walang problema. They went through their stuff and sort of like a typical checkpoint. They're just checking whether or not these people are above board. So without a few moments, they are let through the checkpoint. As you approach the encampment, how are you proceeding? Are you proceeding stealthily, or are you moving as a group confidently? Like, how do you proceed through this checkpoint?
How do you boys want to proceed?
Do they wear anything like a badge of something of some sort? A
Uh,
regalia from Daggerford?
with the 13 from Daggerford,
Yeah, sorry.
go ahead and roll a history check for me, please. If you can
Ah,
recognize the garbs.
okay. I'm not a student of history though, but let's see. 17. 20.
17.
20.
With the 20, you do recognize somewhat their colors. Far away from the colors or the regalia of Waterdeep, and not at all associated with the colors of Daggerford. They seem to be colors of Baldur's Gate.
Ah. Do I see so my background is mercenary veteran.
Mhm.
Do I see the flaming fist insignia somewhere on their clothing?
Yes, you do.
Ah. I say to the party. Ah, flaming fist mercenaries, my friends. Not sure what they're doing here though. They're very far away from where they're supposed to be.
Are they going to be a problem?
I'm not sure. I look at the warlock. Maybe you can use your charms.
Unfortunately, well, let's see. And then I approach one of the guards.
You make your way, you travel as a party, or just or is it just
I'm gonna look
I,
for.
Max?
Sorry,
maybe
go ahead.
maybe I'd ask the uh sorry EJ's character to accompany me.
Sure.
Perhaps your badge would prove useful in maybe convincing these uh well-intentioned men.
I am from
Hopefully,
the trade of blades, though. I'm not associated with them, but we'll see. We'll see.
a mercenary is a mercenary. Perhaps the language of coin might.
That's the problem. I show him my pouch, and it's like literally nothing, almost nothing there. And I show him
We're
the
doing
inside. Look at the gold, man.
we're doing this
2 gold
because we don't
pieces.
have gold.
I literally have 2 gold pieces.
It's like 200 pesos in the wallet.
Okay. Ano lang, housekeeping lang konti. Jean, can you kindly change your Discord name na lang to
Ay, sorry. Yeah.
say your character? Kahit si Jean lang kasi wala yung pangalan niya sa Tailspire. So,
Okay.
I can see you naman here in
Yung
Tailspire.
ACPP ko rin wala eh. Wait. Dali.
Ooh, take care of your PP.
Yeah, I take care of my
Stop
PP.
that! I'm in Twitch! If I get banned! Bagay, wala namang makakapansin.
Paano nga ba to paguhin? Sandali sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, let's just proceed. While you're doing that, you proceed now as a group, or just the two of you?
I think just me and sorry, what's the warlock's name?
Si Pax.
Pax. Okay, just me and Pax.
Okay. How far behind is the party traveling?
I'd like to steer around 20 feet from them. That's
Not too
comfortable.
far.
Just declaring pala DM, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor now.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
If that's the case,
That's
maybe I
scary.
should go too.
What
Maybe
does
we should all go as a
what does your mage armor look like?
My Mage Armor is subtle, so my wizardly robes are a very very dark shade of blue, almost the color of my skin. So if you look at
Nice.
me, I look naked with some flowing. It's like I look naked with some flowing robes, but the linings of my robe has these runes in the parang embroidered in them,
lined sa
Yep,
robes
and
mo.
those line up representing my Mage Armor.
Mm.
Okay.
They light up.
All right. Okay, as you approach,
We'll travel. DM will travel a good 60 feet away from that, if that's far enough.
okay. 60 feet behind you are three of your companions carrying some traveling materials. But the two of you, Pax and Illidan ba? Tama?
Yes.
Illidan. You proceed towards this checkpoint. You do see roughly maybe 4 or 5 humanoids wearing the Baldur's Gate regalia, and one person just proceeds to meet you, raising his right hand, and he just says, "Halt! At standard checkpoint, sir."
I raise my badge representing the trade of blades from Neverwinter.
I see. He'll roll a history check. Oh, a member of the Guild of the Trade of Blades.
Indeed, sir.
How are
I
you?
have here. How are you?
Oh, good. We've been here for a couple of days already. Can't complain, really. You're traveling with. Who are you traveling with, sir?
I am here with my friend here. I put my hand on his shoulder. Pax, my friend, and I have an adventuring group over there hiding somewhere. I don't know where they are, but we're here to give this to the mayor. And do we have the scroll?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Or I'm gonna assume I have it. And then I show it to the Flaming Fist mercenary. We're here
Okay,
for work, essentially.
The Flaming Fist mercenary grabs the scroll, kind of looks at it strangely. He frowns a little bit. Ah, I see. Can we keep this?
We're supposed to present that to the mayor. It's for us.
I see. Just hold on a moment. He turns around, goes to the rest of his company, and then he hands the scroll over to the missive over to one of the parang one of the guys that's sitting on the desk. I mean, parang checkpoint, may nag-ano, tapos may tao sa desk.
Yep, yep.
Ayun.
I'm gonna
Goes
ask
through.
him. Sorry, I
Go
want
ahead.
to ask him. Uh, I'm just wondering. You're so far away from Baldur's Gate. What are you doing here?
Special, we just follow orders, sir.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Uh, I think it's a flat roll for me. Nope.
Yep.
I believe it. Okay.
It's he's not naman na parang he's not being totally parang aloof, but maybe perhaps a lot of people have asked him that question already and just automatically just blurts it out as if parang very plainly without really showing much emotion. So parang it's
I
a matter of fact. So it doesn't
matter of
necessarily
fact.
convince you
Okay. Mhm.
na he's saying the truth, but parang there's for him it's just parang he just believes it. So parang this is just
What is the checkpoint for, if I may ask?
well, as this letter clearly states, there are certain children that have gone missing in Gillian's Hill, and we were hired to um, to try to circumvent this and try to solve this issue. That's why we're kind of curious, like how this letter came about, since we were told that we were the only ones who were hired to this. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a copy of the missive. We'll one of our scribes there will take a copy of it, exact copy,
I
and
kind of
then
look at Pax and and I whisper to his ear, "This is suspect."
And then Pax kind of steps up and please, sir, this child has been missing as well. Perhaps uh, the child that you've been looking for may have been found, or the children you've been looking for may have been found, or they may have been recent, and at least a party has been launched to look for them. But this one, and then I point to I tap on the scroll. Nobody's looking for this child. Please, we just want to find this child and be on our way.
make a deception check because you don't know if anything is looking for that. Okay, 25. So he kind of like looks at you very strangely and kind of convinced of the fact that at least that's how you interpret it. Na parang he's more impressed that you know more about this than than them at this point. So he just says, "Well, we shall let you through, but we just need to take note of this, and we would need your names before we let you through."
I tell him my name is Pax Tangere.
Let's just
And,
proceed to the desk, sir, and we'll have this registration form for you. So
Okay.
they produce like a huge scroll, and they start to write your name, Pax, and also Illidan. Do you give your name?
Yes, my name's Illidan Arrnoroth. I look back at the party. Hey, come on, it's safe.
We weren't hiding. We were okay. Sige, let's go na lang.
Okay.
Right, the rest of you.
Yep, we're following.
Yep.
We're following through.
As Myung Ki appears, you see a lot of them seem to like start to get really apprehensive, and so you is that guy with you?
He's with us. He's with us.
Myung
lower
Ki
your
will
weapon.
give them a kung fu bow.
Oh, the bugbear bows. That's pretty fucked up. Uh, all right, and as you write your names down the missive, they kind of like look at you Very. Make a perception check. Anyone?
Okay. Plus 220.
All right. Okay. So I would say Illidan and Tobias. You do see that a lot of them seem to be. It's familiar to you the kinds of looks that they're giving. They're making an inventory of possibly what sort of warriors you are, what weapons you carry, and kind of like making a mental note of it.
Okay.
After a few moments, they do give you back the missive of some sort. They give you the original missive to you, and the guard then says, "Well, you may proceed, Miss Master Illidan.
Oh,
Gillian's.
I'm no master.
Okay.
Just
Whatever. Illidan then. Okay, very well. Just proceed down south of the Traders Way, and when you see a small town to the left, the first town to the left, that should be Gillian's Hill. If you do
Hey, what is
encounter,
your name, if you don't mind me asking?
my name is George.
George. All right.
This is Paul.
George.
Oh,
That's Ringo.
Okay.
do you have
George. What's your last name?
Harrison.
Hmm. All right. Nice to meet you, George Harrison.
We do have a band. It's called the Beat Alls, and we do perform sometimes. You should catch us in Daggerford next Friday. But anyway, the first thing, if you do encounter anything, just give us a shout, and we shall help you out. You know, from one mercenary to another.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So you proceed down now, south towards the town of Gillian's Hill. Probably around, at this point, no, it's probably 10 a.m. You just woke up from the camp and you traveled down a few hours to Gillian's Hill. So as you arrive to Gillian's Hill, so fetching you all here. Are you at the board?
Yep. Damn, this is well made.
Sorry, farm day.
Looks nice.
Wala pala tong music. Elf.
Paano ulit rotate to? Sorry ah.
Middle mouse, tapos just drag.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'll fetch you. I'll give you all your characters here. Illidan, Myung Ki, Pax, and Tobias. Ooh, where are you flying, Tobias? Okay. So, make a perception check as you arrive in this town.
Perception.
Hey,
Matay
25.
sila. Status, nakta.
Nawala
Ang
yung
baba
Sorry.
ng rules ko tonight, ah. That's
Nawala
an
yung...
11.
Sorry. Paano ulit ilabas yung dice?
Space.
Spacebar.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Oh.
I got a 4.
Okay, with the 4, it's not that you don't see anything. It's just you're just taking everything in. You don't really notice the important parts. But sorry, but see, Tobias does. Tobias, it's not about what you see, but it's about what you hear. You hear a group, what seems to be a group of people, having some sort of a discussion. At this point, you do see
Oh, nice.
that they seem to be talking around in front of like this large barn house. They seem to be congregating as if they're in a meeting of some sort. Okay, so do you?
Hey,
What would you like to do at this point? Would you like to approach, or would you like to go around town? What do you want to do?
I tell them that there's like a meeting. There's like a meeting in the barn house. Hey everyone, I hear some folks are there in the barn house. Would you like to go up to them?
At the bias, it just dawns on you, with your 20 perception check, that the barn house must be the house, the biggest. It is the biggest house in Gillian's Hill. It might represent some sort of importance or authority, and uh, you gather that, putting two and two together, that this might be the mayor's house.
Mayor's house is the barn house. Okay.
All right.
Let's just head right in.
So what do you like? What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, let's go.
I'll just stay
Alright.
outside.
We'll walk towards the warehouse.
I'll walk behind Caan.
All right. As you are walking, a lot of them seem to be, whomever are like there behind you or around you, they seem to be giving you a look because you seem to be like new people in this place. But you do hear a voice coming from the house. It seems to be relatively like that of authority. You see this person here starts to address the crowd.
Nice.
And he says, my dear friends, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on such short notice. It is with a heavy heart that we announce that yet another child has gone missing this morning. And you hear like gasps coming from the town and some of the gossiping, and it's just whisper to one another. Just please, let me finish. The son of Avram seems to have been taken from their home. We have sent out missives, as you know, to Daggerford and other hamlets in Waterdeep, but we have not heard from them. We have reached as far as Waterdeep, my son-in-law reports, so I'm hoping that these can be addressed as soon as possible. I understand your concerns truly. My daughters are still missing, and my daughter is still missing, and we're doing everything that we can to find them. You hear a voice from the crowd. One of the townsfolk starts to pipe up, and he says, "But what else can we do? We've tried everything. We might as well leave this God's forsaken town and go to Daggerford or Liam's Hold." And other people seem to muster in agreement of some sort. This person here raises his hand to kind of like hush the crowd. He says, I understand your concerns. Like, I realize that my words provide very little comfort to you. Our volunteers have been searching night and day for the past 10 days, and I have not heard from them for 2 nights. If you are convinced that this is the way to go, I cannot stop you. I can prepare a letter for each of you for a request of sanctuary from the nearby towns. I just only request that a few stay in town with me to protect the lands from intruders. I would like to think that once the children are returned to us, that they have a home to return to. I will be here if your family would like to have this letter, but for now I humbly request that you proceed as calmly as possible. Some of the townsfolk start to mutter in agreement, and you see a few of them in anger proceed out of the meeting and back to their homes. A few of the townsfolk approach the mayor to signify that they're willing to stay, to defend, or to be with them. But a large part of the congregation seems to go back to their homes.
DM.
Yes.
At this point, may I cast light with a neon pink color on Caan's armor?
All right.
And I shout, "Lucky for you people, your knight in shining armor is here."
I know. I I give Illidan a death stare. And then
I
parang, ay, ano.
also
I smiled back.
I also cast prestidigitation so that sparks would show would kind of like come out of his armor.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so let's make a group charisma check for you, please.
Oh shit! I have.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that, DM?
Yeah, go
To
ahead.
the effect. Yeah, that's right. For those of you who want to run like the cowards that you are, run away. You don't deserve these children.
Okay, make yours with disadvantage.
All right.
Kami lahat DM, no? Charisma.
Yep.
Oh, 14 plus 14. What's my charisma? Oh, that's 13. -1 charisma.
Yeah, I have
Man of
disadvantage in charisma
war.
checks now.
Charisma.
Yeah, you
na-
do.
No. Not for this. Not for this situation.
Alright, cool. Myung
Oh,
Ki
sorry.
is just clapping his hands.
Charisma. Sorry, +5. Ano pala dapat? 11. Charisma saving.
Check lang siya, not saving.
Okay. Yeah, just 9.
Okay. Pretty poorly. A lot of them just seem to just look at you and just proceed to their own business. They don't really pay you much mind. One child just points at you, Caan, and just laughs.
Hmm.
But this person here does pay you some attention. He raises his hand and kind of like you see that his face is kind of like very confused.
Mhm.
But he puts two and two together that you might have that you might have come for in response to the missive. So he does gesture you to come towards him and to meet him at this point.
I approach him.
Okay. So as you approach, let's just kill all these things here. They're
I
gone.
was
I
about
don't know.
to ask, what does it take? What would happen if I killed the child? You take control of my character, DM.
You can certainly try.
Child.
My character would, not me.
You would probably face the wrath of the entire town, but okay. So so just move your characters closer if you like.
Yeah, naka-cutscene mode pa ata niya may ko din.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. There you go.
Oh,
So a lot of them seem to be very confused as to. But go ahead. Siguro at this point, dito kaya. Okay, so one is on top of the rocks. You're gonna stay there?
Yeah, I'm gonna just squat.
Alright.
did I just hear a goat somewhere? It's probably here. Galing. Must be the ambience.
Yes, the ambience.
And I love
It's a farm
Jasper.
town. Okay. So, as you approach, the mayor says to one of you, says, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't scare these people. They've been through enough. Come here, closer."
I move closer.
All right, you guys move closer, and he says, "But ultimately, I'm grateful that you have come. I assume that you have received my son-in-law's missive." He extends his hand.
Okay. I guess we give him the missive. Who has the missive right now?
We have the missive right now. I hand it over to the mayor.
Thank you. Are you hiding who you are by Illidan?
No.
Okay.
No. Mukhang may
Alright.
ano to sa mga elfa. Sige.
And he says, "I've not seen a moon elf for quite some time." He gives you a smile. "It's nice to see one of your kind traveling these parts. I've not seen one in a few years. It's very refreshing. Welcome."
Thank you. Well, at least now you see that we actually exist. And, we I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I've read a lot of books about your adventures. I've heard that your kind are the adventuring type, and it's just sad how, um, the misconceptions of drows and the negative things that they bring about has affected you so much. Saddens me, truly. My name is Tevier. I am the mayor, or the pseudo mayor of this small hamlet of Gillian's Hill. So I welcome each and every one of you. Um, as let's just skip the part where you introduce your names, but at this point you do take the time to introduce. He points at the bugbear sitting on top of the rocks. Is he all right?
I guess he just likes hanging around tall rocks.
Okay.
It's fine.
Since you're there no, on top, Myung Ki, go ahead and make a perception check for me. What's your passive perception ba? Hello? Myung Ki? Is he
Hulog na
talking?
ata.
Nakamute ba?
Parang nagsasalita siya pero hindi nagre-register
Oh,
yung voice.
Okay, everyone roll a perception check then.
Okay.
Naka-cutscene mode pa rin kami diyan.
Oh, sorry. I can't roll pala kung naka-cutscene. Go ahead.
12.
15. Ay, di pala.
God, natural one. My rolls
Nice.
are not good, man. I guess we gotta get them out of the way.
You rolled a natural one, pare.
Oh, don't do that. Not now.
17.
Not again.
All right. So as you're talking now, you notice that there's a figure on top of the barn, and he seems to be you're not quite sure, but Nico does
Wala
see. Ayun, I can hear you now. Myung Ki does see what seems to be a person holding on to a violin, and he starts to play music. On the roof here.
Oh,
Did you-
fiddler on the roof.
What's the do we hear it?
Yeah, it's very soft music.
I don't is it
They
like
say it's coming from far. I know. It's just music.
okay.
You see someone who seems to be playing like his violin on the roof.
Okay.
Wala lang,
Stranger,
very
Points
random.
the guy.
Stranger Things ba ito? Hindi, sige.
He said, oh,
DM,
don't.
sorry, na lost ako. Nandito ako ngayon sa parang basement. Paano magbalik?
Wait.
Paano punta sa basement? Tapos parang nagtanggal yung tiles.
Okay, I'm fetching you.
Ayun, thank you, DM.
Stop playing around with the world, dude.
You don't.
Nag-explore lang ako. Tapos
You
may,
don't need-
ano ko, ano napindot.
Sige, cutscene ko na para hindi kayo gumagalaw.
God damn it.
My
Okay.
bad.
But
Ay,
no,
napindot.
wala naman secrets dito. So no secrets in the map that you can
You
see.
just cut
Because I can hide things.
so we can keep your attention.
Anyway, so he does motion. He does see that you're clearly like confused, like what's going on. Oh, don't mind that guy. He's just occasionally likes to play at random locations in the town. But anyway, my name is Tevier. Welcome to Gillian's Hill. This is my home. Would you like to come inside?
What's that guy's name?
I don't know. We just call him the fiddler.
The Siddler. So when did he arrive here?
He was here with us for a long time, pretty much.
When did the kidnappings happen? Or
About
the ones
two-
that are lost?
Let's proceed inside, please, before we start to talk about anything
Okay.
kidnapping related. So
Thank you,
he
man.
does escort you inside. You see, as you look inside now, you see that he's with his family. He has about 4 daughters of different age groups, and the wife is there also. The wife introduces herself. My name is Golde. My name is Golde. Nice to meet you.
Slowly.
I'll bring you some refreshments from your travel. You seem a little worse for wear. If so you are brought inside. Is your friend joining us? The one on top of that hill?
Hey, Myung
Uh,
Ki.
Myung Ki will just ask for water. Wait, I do have water. All right. Myung Ki will enter
All right.
with the party.
As you do see a couple of like very concerned looking villagers looking at you, but somehow you do Tevia's hospitality has eased their concerns. So as you gather around the table, drinks are served and refreshments are being served as well. You see the daughters go about and go inside the house and proceeding to do their chores or whatever it is that they do. Right, as you gather forth, Tevye then explains to you and addresses you. He says, there are a total of 5 children who have went missing in the past 10 days. The first one was my daughter, Bilke. She's 13, and she disappeared 10 days ago. We've been trying to find her ever since. After about 5 days, a second child went missing. And then, randomly, within the next few days, another child and another child would go missing. So, my child is 13 of age. She has black hair. She's very with freckles on her cheek, and is very fierce. That one. Very strong. The second one is Runshan. Sorry. Runshan. And he's 12. And he is the son of Avram, the bookseller. He's a chubby little kid who has glasses, smart. Smart as a tack, that one. The third child that went missing is the eldest of the group. Her name is Kevet. She's 15.
With a Q or a K?
With a K, sir.
Mm-hmm.
My enter is broken. Kevet.
There we are.
Kevet! Hey, Kevet! She's 15. She's beautiful. Almost mature dimples, both cheeks, red hair. And the fourth child that went missing is Mendel. He is 9 years old. And he's the local spiritual leader's son. He's the rabbi's son. Scrawny and mysterious looking kid. Keeps to himself, no friends really. And the latest one, this morning, the daughter of Yusel, 5 years old. Still very young.
Ooh, okay.
Cute little child, brave, with a bright smile and black of hair. And he produces a very rough sketch of what these children look like.
Sorry, what's the name of the fifth child nga, DM?
Say Ruth. Sorry, I didn't say.
Ruth.
Ruth.
And when did Ruth go missing?
She was reported missing just early this morning.
She is the daughter of
Yusel.
Yusel.
And Yusel is.
Sorry, go.
Yusel is the hatter of the town. He makes hats.
Access? What? Sorry?
Hats.
Hats. Okay.
Would you say that these children are children of people who are of maybe influence in this hamlet, this town?
Well, if you look at us, really, we're not really that of influence. We don't have much. We only have this. I would say that the only person with influence here is the butcher, Lazar Wolf. He's the richest of us, and doesn't have any sons or daughters.
That's already a motive. Possible motive. Well, where was Ruth last seen?
That's the thing. all of the abductions happen when everyone seems to be asleep
At
at
night?
night.
Hmm.
So they were
And
taken from their beds.
some of them were taken from their parents' arms and they didn't notice.
Oh, wow.
When Bilke was taken, however, there was an incident. There was a loud noise that was heard from the house. And we heard a muffled scream, and that was it. But all the rest of the people seemed to have vanished without any evidence or without any incident. They just vanished.
You find any footprints or similar things?
Well, we did try to find clues
What have you
aside
found?
from Bilke's, aside from our house. The only thing that we could locate was a broken window, which was we assumed that was the point of entry for the kidnapper. But all the rest, we there's nothing. There's nothing to prove that anything happened. Every door was locked. Every window was locked.
So the clues only are available in Bilke's house, I guess.
Yes, my house. Yes.
Your house, right? I'm so sorry. Can we look at the crime scene?
Um. Sure. Of course. Of course. And he motions to his daughters to just like clear the way for you.
I look at the
Um.
party. May I? I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah. You are. You are given access naman to the house, but
Okay.
at this point, no, parang let's just go through theater of the mind as you're investigating the house.
Yep.
So this barn, as you see, that the ground floor is filled with vats or large jars that contain milk. The other part of the house seems to be a churning mechanism that turns the milk into cheese. That is Tevia's main business. He is a provider of cheese from across he supplies cheese for Waterdeep, for Daggerford, and all the fancy cities. There. And also he provides cheese for neighboring towns also for those who would want to like para siyang alam mo yan, parang DOT, parang nagpro-provide siya ng business for other
Yep.
and other small establishments for tourism, for those who would want to sell, so he provides business for them.
Can I recall? Sorry, go.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I recall information about other business owners that this may or may have put out of business or are competing against?
Okay, go ahead and make a history check.
Yeah. Okay. 9 plus 3, 12.
12. Oh, you are mahilig, as your character mo, mahilig ka ba ng cheese?
I wouldn't say so. Milk maybe, but not cheese.
You are aware of a lot of cheese brands, no? May Eden, may Kraft. So, marami naman, but the cheese that he provides has a very unique taste that goes well with wine. So it's a little bit para siyang destination cheese that people would often go past the tradeway para bumili ng pasalubong. Ito yung mainly
Dinadayo ba?
pasalubong
Or
dinadayo
okay.
talaga. But not a lot of people really know that this is the source of the cheese itself.
Designer
those-
cheese.
Parang ganun. But very high, hindi naman siya high class talaga, but it's really good.
Yeah,
Cheese. He
I
gives
get
you
it.
cheese din eh. He gives you the cheese, he gives you snacks and stuff. Yeah. So, if you have a very nice palate, parang you would recognize that this is a really good cheese. Really good. But it's not the best, but it's up there. Alam mo yun?
Yep.
With the 12, I wouldn't say that you know specifically based sa area or based sa region if meron siyang competition per se. but the idea lingers in your head, and and you gather that it might be a good idea. Well, that's what the 12 gives you.
I asked the mayor, Mayor Tevier, do you have any enemies at all?
Enemies, gods, no.
How
We
about business people that may not take it lightly that you have a very good business here?
well, our business has been okay. We have not really challenged a lot of. There's a family down in Liam's hold that produces the same cheese, and they're the best in in the Sword Coast. If you ask me, they're really good. Um, but aside from that, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Do you really think that someone would go after us because of the business that we have?
Well, for your daughter, maybe. But for the others, we're not sure. Well, I'm not sure. I look at the party. What do you guys think?
These children, let me. I'm coming along the thought of perhaps these children are children of people who own um, trades that extend or influence other businesses outside this town of yours.
Well, yes, we all have businesses of our own. That's our main source of livelihood. People who pass by the trader's way, at the tradeway, and which is our main source of income. Our Yusel is the father of Ruth. He's a hatter. He's a decent hatter, but not really the designer one. Um, uh, Morga, which is the father of Kevet, he's an innkeeper here. Not really sure.
Since this place pretty much meet people or outsiders, I'd say most of the time. Did anybody stick out? A passer through, maybe?
Well, there was the only thing that I remember that has happened, recently was about the night of Bilke's disappearance. Have you noticed any checkpoints around this town?
There
Indeed. Yes.
These were people from Baldur's Gate. And their leader, this constable, Constable Ramisan is his name. Oh, wait lang. Constable Ramisan.
Ramasan. Okay.
The night of my daughter's wedding, he arrived with a small party of mercenaries, the Buldurians. They were nice, but they gave us a very stern warning that you see, east of here is what's called the Lizards Marsh. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but the Lizards Marsh have been our business partners for a long time, for years. We export cheese to them, and they sell and they deliver to other islands near the Skalg Islands and other fisher folk. And it was strange to me because Constable Ramasan told us that the lizard folk seem to have grown violent, and he was warning us of that violence that night, and they wanted us to leave the town.
A lizard folk problem.
But that's strange because I've known these lizard folk. They're nice. I've met them. I've not known them to be violent. We coexist because we also import items from them for the benefit of the rest of the town. We We get fertilizer from them. We get fish, food, and
Where
they
is
When
also.
this?
was your
Sorry,
sorry?
go.
Uh, and when was your last trade with them? How did it go?
The night that happened, the night that they warned us, um, we didn't. Ever since we didn't talk to them. Ever since we'd never seen them around these parts, and these guards were adamant in warning us not to proceed to the Lizards Marsh because uh, we were told that it was very dangerous, and we trust them. Of course, we can't defend ourselves. We're
I
Where's
merely.
where's this Constable Ramazan now?
He comes from time to time. He has a few. He has actually four camps around. One to the north, which probably, since I assume you came from Daggerford.
Yes.
So one to the north, that's one, and one to the south, just south of the tradeway. There's another one. Another to the east, heading to the Lizards Marsh, and another to the west, protecting the. Where is the map? Uh, Protecting the Liam's Hold. The one to the south is just after you leave Gillian's Hill. There's a checkpoint there. The one to the right.
That's the one we encountered earlier.
You encountered the one to the north.
To the
Yun yung
north.
nakita.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, let me just see this map. The one to the west of you is the gate towards the Misty Forest. Here.
and
So,
Mayor, have these mercenaries maybe pried around, perhaps knowing the entry, the goes around ins and outs of this place?
well, there's nothing much to hide. It's a very what you see is the entire town. So
Hmm.
they do come from time to time to gather materials, but that's just about it. I know that their main headquarters is located near the forest, near the Misty Forest. So that's I'm assuming that's their big. I haven't seen it myself, but I've been told that it's a pretty substantial camp.
I turn to Illidan and tell him, no strange things happening. Relationships were good up until these mercenaries showed up, so that's the best clue that we have.
Yes.
I don't, and we don't have any other information regarding the lizard folk, except that they were perhaps instigated by these mercenaries, and these mercenaries are very adamant in not trading with the lizard folk. So I guess that's the best thing to start off with.
DM, can
Oh.
I roll from? Can I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I wanted to know from memory if I can, if it's possible, in my travels in the world, parang how many like towns and townships and villages in the world of the Forgotten Realms have interacted in a friendly manner with lizard folk. I wanted to determine if that's a normal thing. Kumbaga.
Okay, make a racist check, a history check.
History.
Your
Oh,
racist check.
Racist check.
13 plus I don't have a racist skill. Wait lang.
History.
History, no. Yun, 1. That's a 14 DM.
Um, the lizard folk have, I would say, in this world, have a very similar to your friend Illidan. They have a very misunderstood representation. But the best of them, they are very industrious. Their mindset is very set, and they go through life with a very stern set of principles. So I would say that there are good parts of them. There are very high performing contributors to society in the Sword Coast. but there are also those who have ill repute. There are
Mm.
also those who are, set towards banditry, towards that
Yeah. So pretty
spectrum.
much normal, like every
Yeah,
other race
I
in the
like
see.
every
realm.
other race. Yeah. So the racist check is just for you to know na parang um, na parang they're very similar to how the rest of the races work. That they're not really inherently evil.
Oh, okay.
So they do possess. Depends lang on what gossip you put energy into. So may good lizard folk, may bad lizard folk.
Okay. Yeah.
TM, I wanted to ask the mayor, Mayor Tevye, who's your main lizard folk contact, and is it possible to find him? Is it easy to find him?
Well, um, lizard folk contact. I have his name here. Teka. Well, yes. The his name is Vinmo.
Binmo. Okay. Any
Vinmo.
any distinguishing characteristic on his appearance that we'd know it's him?
Well, Vinmo lives in the Lizard Marsh has essentially one large encampment.
Mm-hmm.
They're very peaceful. These lizards that I've encountered. But Vinmo seems to be the eldest of the tribe, and I'm pretty sure that if you encounter one, if you choose to travel along that way, and if you ask, then they would probably point him out for you.
Okay. We'd like to see the room now, please, where Bilke was last
Of
taken.
course, of course. I apologize. I do like to talk a lot. We don't really encounter much guests, but of course, of course. He opens the doors. You do notice that one daughter seems to be very, parang, alam mo yun, very sneakily listening in as you were talking. But he does guide you through the house. So essentially, that's the bottom of the house is just the business portion. He does point that the broken window is at the bottom here, dito sa ground floor. Dito siya sa banda. It's about the right side of the house leading towards leading towards I would say west of the map essentially. So he goes through. He shows you the dormitory or the bedroom, the shared bedroom of the daughters. So essentially, the five daughters share one bedroom. Sorry, the four daughters share one bedroom. The eldest daughter has a bedroom of her own with her husband, and then there's the master bedroom.
Okay.
And he just says, just look at anything you would like. Please don't take anything. We don't really have much, but I trust you. Uh, but you can proceed through and do your thing. As you would
Okay.
say. Okay, so where would you like to go first? Master bedroom, the dormitory, shared bedroom, or the
The shared bedroom for
okay?
me. Ewan ko sa rest of the party. Kayo guys, saan niyo gusto pumunta?
I'm staying outside.
Proud.
I notice that the other child listening, DM?
What's your passive perception?
It's 11.
Well, it's I know, parang you do notice, but make an insight check.
Inside. One moment. 20 plus 3. That is. Come on. There we go.
19.
19, yep, 19.
Okay. With the 19, as you were conversing, no, so let's just go back in time a little bit. As you were conversing, when you were talking about the bandit, not the bandits, the Baldurians, when you were talking about specifically when they came and they interact and they gather resources from them, you notice that she seems to be very focused on that particular subject, and you notice that she is like how you interpret what she's going through. Parang she's very carefully listening to the words coming from Tevia's judgment rather than anything else that you're talking about. So she it seems to you that she's more curious about what Tevia thinks of these mercenaries more than anything.
Hmm. Is she still around? Is it possible for me to speak with
Yeah,
her?
she's around. You can probably talk to her
Okay.
if you would want to.
Yeah. Maybe we could go. Maybe we could finish Illidan's ano muna,
Yep.
point of
So
view.
let's go back to Illidan now. So Illidan, who are you? Who's going with you at this point to investigate the?
I don't know. Who's going with me, guys?
Oh, I'm staying outside to watch over your investigation.
So sa labas ka
Yeah.
ng room. Ako lang yung papasok. Okay.
Probably won't fit inside, so I'll stay.
I'll be with the
Okay, I'll try
child.
to help.
Okay. So
Tobias will help.
okay,
Sorry.
Tobias and Illidan, you go through the shared bedroom. Yeah.
Yep.
So in the shared bedroom, you do see 5 beds, but one of the bed here, the largest one, seems to be parang nakapatong, walang bed sheet, nakapatong doon lahat ng gamit. So you gather that this might have been the eldest daughter's bed before they transferred to their own bedroom.
I check her items. Also, I check every ano ba? Every hindi. I check all of the undersides of the beds.
Okay, so go ahead and make an investigation check for me with advantage.
Okay. Teka lang. Checking my bonus. I think it's +5.
At this point, DM, do we still hear the soft music or wala na siya?
After a while, after like a solid 5-6 minutes, it stops.
Okay.
How do I increase the number pala? Sorry, of the dice that I'm gonna roll.
Just click it twice.
Okay, gotcha. Rolling. +5, so I got a 20.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Good. Go back to that part. All right. So, sub shared bedroom, there's nothing really that points towards anything that is outside what you can find in a lady's dorm. You do see a number of like journals laying around, one journal for each. You see prayer materials. They seem to worship the Earth Mother. Si Shontea ba yun?
Antea.
So they seem to be very devout in you do see prayer shawls, prayer beads and other things. You do see a set of clothes, and you notice that the bed on top to the right, because they have 2 bunk beds and 1 bed in the center. The rightmost bunk bed, yung pinaka top, seems to have a lot of notes written on top of the bed. You open one and you read through, and they are prayers to Shantea, asking for Bilke's return. You do notice that with the 20, I'd say that you recover Bilke's journal or diary.
Okay, can I read it?
You go through the past few days, just leading to the kidnapping. Nothing particularly strange. However, there is one entry that says that she seemed to have she felt something strange in the house, and she was feeling very scared, and she started to pray, and she told her sister about it, but her
Which sister?
sisters hold on. The eldest one. The sister is Saitel. Saitel.
Sa BPO, Saitel, ganun.
Saitel yung ganyan.
Okay. Saitel. Okay.
Yan
Okay.
yung pangalan.
Yeah.
And she just said, Saitel just reassured her that this was probably bad dreams because she had a she was, and also you notice that there are some splotches between dates now that she writes that she had a bad dream again, and the dreams
What are the dreams
surround
about?
the dreams are about a dark figure that she sees in the forest surrounding mist.
Misty Forest. Okay.
So usually that's it. She doesn't necessarily see the
figure.
the figure
Okay.
itself, or doesn't necessarily know, but it's just a dark figure that she sees from time to time.
And the Misty Forest is close to here, right?
Yes, it's close to here.
Nah, noted. Are there any clues about what kind of thing broke the window? Is it through like blunt force from a hand, a fist? Was it kicked?
The window itself now is in the first floor.
Okay.
I'll carry over your 20 there. It seemed to have been broken, not to not to not going in but going out. So
Going
palabas yung force kung asan yung pag-break. So it wasn't a break in, they were breaking out.
Okay.
And
Was there blood?
no blood.
No blood. Yeah.
But you do parang in your I'll honor your soft 20. Parang you start to develop this image of a rush of movement coming from the stairs.
Okay.
And then you see that there's a missing stool from one of the tables there, and you gather that it might have been used to break the window.
Gotcha. Okay. Noted. That's all I got now, DM. That's everything.
I would say that's for the
20.
the dorm.
The dorm. Okay.
There are two
Noted.
other doors.
Okay.
There are
Sige.
two other ones.
Is there a weird smell ba, DM?
Make a perception check.
Like baka may smoke or something. That's a 23.
Okay, so where specifically are you making this perception?
Dun sa dorm, DM. Yung saan si Illidan.
Illidan, it smells nice. I'm not sure if you've, as your character, but do you have younger sisters or siblings?
No.
So canon na yan, wala
Not
kang
really.
sisters. So you're not, from your experience of brothels and other things, this is certainly a breath of fresh air. It's a very well kept room with incense. It smells really nice. Nothing that you can smell that is out of the ordinary, but it does seem to give you comfort. Kasi parang it's a safe space for sisters who love each other, and you feel that. And there is just this hanging energy coming from that missing bed, coming from that missing person that they love so much. So you can kind of like sense that there is a history of sweetness, of camaraderie, of sisterhood that is tanged by, or that is brought down by this knowledge that their sister is missing.
Gotcha.
Have we seen the sister, yung eldest, si Saitel, or
You have seen her, but you were not able to talk to her, no? Pero nandiyan siya.
Is her husband here as well?
The husband is siguro this is part of what the mayor told you. The husband was the person who distributed the missives.
Right. Sorry. Gotcha.
So siya yung however, he has not returned.
Huh. Okay.
The husband's name is. What's her name, husband?
Isa
Uh,
siya sa mga search parties, DM. The husband.
no. He. If you ask Tevi about him, he'll tell you. But this is the this is the name. Si Perchik.
Per
Sorry. Per
Perchik.
check.
check. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm gonna head to Mayor Tevye. I'm gonna ask to speak with. We met Saital naman, no? We
Yes. Well,
okay, but we
passingly.
didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We didn't speak with her, but we kind of we've seen her. Okay, I'm gonna
There
go
are two.
directly to her na lang later.
Okay. There are two other rooms though.
Oh, sige, I'll check both rooms na rin para
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Master
So
bedroom.
okay. Roll with advantage. Investigate.
Roll high.
Nice.
20,
Nice,
22, 22.
22. Okay. As you're
Yep.
going through the master bedroom, in one of the compartments, no, in what you assume is Tevia's side of the bed, are a collection of letters. You sift through the letters, and they seem to be orders of requests of cheese from different sides. You see a very scratched out note, invoices that are what you gather are writings from lizard folk. But one very strange crumpled letter is located just very near, parang almost like haphazardly, para siyang resibo na, alam mo, parang na discard lang, but catches your eye. You gather it, and you start to read, and it reads this. It says, "You have shamed me and shamed the Earth Mother with breaking your oath. Saitel was to be wed with me as you agreed, but you dare tell me that she is betrothed to an outsider? To someone who does not even come from this land we share? You will pay dearly for this."
Ooh.
And it is signed by Lazar Wolf.
The guy from the mercenary, right?
The butcher?
The butcher.
It's the butcher,
Ah,
yes.
the
Yeah,
butcher.
the butcher.
Okay. Oh no, the butcher. I don't like where this is going.
Fresh meat.
Don't say it. I didn't want to say that. Do you share that with the party ba, Illidan?
Of course, I will. Pero not right now. I'm still checking.
Okay,
it.
sige. I'm just
But
right
you-
outside the door, just watching you as you, investigate.
There's one more
Do you-
room DM, di ba?
Do you collect the letter or do you hide it ba? What do you
Good
do with it?
question. I have a spell book. So I'm gonna go to the hindi. Wala akong paper. Sige, I'm gonna go to the very back of the spell book and write the exact verbatim of the letter there.
Before he does that, I'll just tell him now. I'll just approach him. I'll grab his shoulder. I take a look at the letter. I shake my head and say, "Let's just take it." And
Sure.
then let's just take it. And then I pocket the letter and put it in my pocket. And then
Well,
Okay.
Ian takes it, so
yeah, I'll take it.
All right. So you, assumingly, you just return the other papers to the location
as it
where
were,
you
yes,
found.
as it
Okay.
were.
Okay, so we won't let you roll for that. That's all that you see of significance. Of course, there are paintings, there are pictures, there are there is a small shrine to Shanteya. There are prayer shawls. There are also there are hats around. So it's a number of things.
Okay. There's one more room, di ba, DM?
There is one more room. Yes, the bedroom of Saitel.
Sige,
You
I'm gonna
go-
check that room.
Okay, make a investigation check with advantage.
Come on. Oh no.
Oh no.
11.
Oh no.
Okay, within 11, you don't really find anything significant, but you do find, I would say, parang newspapers or parang papers of propaganda.
Okay.
Um,
Propaganda about.
uh, it's about oppression in the government. It's about very UP Diliman
Okay. Got it.
mga alam mo yun, parang it's
Activista, ganon. Oo.
activista. So parang you gather that this outsider, ito si Perchik, itong asawa ni
Mm.
Saitel, is of that sort. And you gather that he's probably not from around here. He's well traveled and he probably knows a lot about the politics of what's
Got it.
going on. Kasi may stuff about Waterdeep, may stuff about Candlekeep, may stuff about Baldur's Gate. So there
You
are
talk so much. Okay.
so he's
Okay.
that kind of he's that kind of like person.
Got it. Sige, I'm gonna head back to the main room, and I'm gonna signal for the party to meet up. And then after we meet up or huddle in a small a corner of the tavern, I'm gonna relay all of the information that I found.
I showed the party the letter. Are we on a table? Or are
Yeah,
we
sure.
just...
Sure.
There is a table. He does give you your space. It doesn't. Tevia doesn't necessarily isn't very respects your space, and he knows like he's kind of like he's expecting when you guys are ready to communicate whatever it is that you found, that he's there available for you.
Okay.
So I'm thinking two things. It's a wedding issue, and there's this dark figure in the Misty Forest. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to confirm first with the mayor exactly what went down between him and Lazar, and then we can go to the Misty Forest to investigate. Or no, sorry. Go to Lazar first and then the Misty Forest. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
I agree.
I'd like to speak with the child first. I noticed somebody listening to us a while ago.
Sure.
Okay. So let's cut to Jean. Siguro before your meeting, Jean, let's just say that you made your way to talk to um the sister. What's her name? Uh, do, 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 do. Okay. See, Hoddle is her name. Hoddle.
Huddle. Okay. Okay. So I approach the child. I smile. I kneel. So that eye level kami. And then
Sorry,
I
hindi pala si Hoddle, si Chava pala yun. Chava.
Shava.
She's
Yeah,
the
but
third youngest. She's Chava the Hut. She's kind of hot though.
oh, I'm not. I
Oh.
Stop it
Oh,
saying that thing. We're on Twitch, bro. Stop, please.
Okay. So so she how old is she? Around that age?
Yeah, around that age, mga 18, 17, 18, 19.
Oh,
I'd say.
okay. So so she's not a child. She's a teenager. Okay. So I smile towards her and I parang playfully produce a rose. And then I hand it toward her. Does she accept?
Make a charisma check for me.
Okay. Charisma +3.
I like
Come
the
on.
background sounds of dogs and cows mooing in the
And
background.
Then she grabs it, but she doesn't necessarily put any energy to it. She just acknowledges you. You gather that it might be her being polite.
Wow.
all right. And
Holy shit.
so
Get Bob.
I just and then I couldn't help but notice that you were listening and these people from Baldur kind of caught your attention. We really want to help. Is there anything you could tell us that might help us find your sisters and all these other children?
Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Please don't suck. Yes. Come on, baby. 15.
15. Okay. He says, Well, of course, I would love to help you. But I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir.
Well, I noticed that whenever the topic of these mercenaries come around, you're focused in on that subject. Did they do anything wrong? Or did they trouble you?
Probably no. Of course not. They seem to be very respectful.
I see. And anything maybe strange or out of the ordinary that you can maybe tell us or help us with in finding your sisters?
Well, the night that she disappeared, we heard a loud sound. I woke up, but my sister, Saito, was the first to run down to check what was going on. I was the first to notice that uh, my sister has gone. My Bilke has gone. So,
And that's it. It didn't notice any other figure, any sight, smell, noise.
no, not really. Bilke has been. She's known to walk around at night, and because she has bad dreams, so
Hmm.
sometimes she goes down, drinks a warm cup of milk, and just comes up back up. But
How about the others?
no, we didn't really. Aside from what happened, we're not really. We don't. We're as confused as you know. We're not sure what happened.
I see. Well, we're we really want to help, and if you remember anything, uh, please don't hesitate to come to us, and because we are going to try to look for your siblings and all the other missing people in this town.
Of course, if anything does come back to my memory, I will surely let you know.
And then I curtsy and I go to the party.
As you curtsy and go back to your party, the camera pans towards her face. What you don't see is her reaching down to her pocket, and her hand seems to like hold on to something tight as she runs back to her or walks back to her chores. But that's what you don't see.
Okay.
Um, so as you are meeting now with your party, um, what is it that you'd like to discuss?
However, I'll just like to get this out of the way. I'll just tell them that I've spoken with Chava and relay to them what happened. Might be eventful, might be uneventful.
Hmm. Interesting.
Following that,
What?
I sorry, go ahead, EJ.
No, go, bro.
Following that, I grabbed the letter that we've acquired from one of the rooms from my pocket, open it up, and present it to the party. Parang pin my index finger there for a while, and then put my feet on the table.
Well, that's our primary suspect, but I guess we need to speak with both Mayor. Uh, what's the name
Thieves,
again? Tevye and
Devia.
Devye.
Saitel at the same time to clarify what this is all about.
I agree.
All right.
Shall we?
Yep.
I grab
I
Okay.
my knuckles
approach.
as we stand up.
Easy, boy, easy.
Okay.
I
You approach Devia.
Yes, Mayor Tevye, and then I tell him we found some interesting information in our search. Would you mind walking with us and calling your daughter Saitel with us?
Of course. He calls Saital over. And would
Do
you
you have
like
a
to meet?
private room?
Of course, we can meet in my office here. I have a small desk here, and I'll just ask the sisters to go out. Can you ask your sisters to go back to their rooms, please? And they proceed very obediently. So you have the room. There's
I
Saital, Tevye, and the
I
rest of
hand
them.
the no, I hand the letter over to um Pax, and I tell him I think this is your forte.
Okay. And then I proceed to. Do we see Saito now?
Yeah, Saitel's with you.
Okay. I
Saitel is a very stern, attractive woman. Also, she's probably around 23, 24 years old. She seems to be well put, well educated, and also very reserved in a sense, strict almost. But you gather that it's the same disposition as her mother, essentially. So parang she's embracing this motherly role as she recognizes that she might be the next in line in terms of like running this business. So
Mm,
she has that vibe of strong woman, independent woman.
being
So
put
that's
together.
exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
Saito's there with you.
All right. So I just tell her straight up front, milady, and then I show her the note. Please, for everyone's sake, we really need as much help as we can get.
Huh?
As you present Saito the letter, you see Tevye kind of like very but there's a sudden change in his disposition. Suddenly he just very accusingly, where did you get this? And he tries to grab the letter.
I definitely kind of like away, bring it away from his reach.
Okay, post roll a, let's say, dexterity check for me, please.
I'm inching my hand closer to my blade.
Oh shit, that's a 6.
Okay, roll in front, grabs the letter and kind of like just holds onto it tight. Where did you get this? This
That
is not
doesn't
for your
matter.
eyes.
It appears you're hiding something from us. Can you please explain?
And Saitel then says, Father, what is that? And make a persuasion check for me, please, with advantage.
-1. Here we go.
Can I roll as well?
No.
No,
Si,
either one of you can roll if you want.
Yun.
Sino na lang? Yeah,
si
si Pax
Illidan
na lang.
si ano na lang, si
Oo.
Pax na lang.
Si Pax na lang. Sige, go Pax.
Oh, that's one fail. One moment. Isa pa. Advantage.
Oh, that's enough. 8 is enough. He rolled a 3.
Nice.
So
Okay.
you see him kind of like a very put together man suddenly snap, and you notice that there's a very sudden parang look of shame in him kasi he doesn't like to be put in that position, doesn't want to show guests that side of him, and he just looks at Saital and he just says, you do remember that you were betrothed to Lazar Wolf, and you do remember that you asked me permission to marry Perchik instead. But and I agreed to it eventually. Of course, I want to see you happy. I don't want to. Our tradition has always been the father would choose. The father would choose your husband. That has always been our tradition in this town. That has always been the way. But I wanted to see you happy, so I agreed to it. But of course, daughter, you do recognize that there are repercussions to that. And Lazar Wolf is... he's a very traditional man. And he gets what he wants. But I stood my ground. to make sure that you live the life that you want to live, not just because of the traditions that we have, but of because you're my daughter, and I want to see you happy. This is one of the many letters that he has sent me, threatening my business, threatening us. But all of that is water under the bridge. We've talked it out, and we're amicable now. We've agreed that this was the best path forward for both of our families.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Go ahead. Make an insight check.
Sight.
No.
18 plus
Oof.
18.
10.
Okay. Yeah. Caan, would you consider your family? How do you view marriage in your family?
Forced din. My background is
Forced.
very dark. Yeah, I have a haunted past background. So,
Okay. Same question for Eugene. How do you view marriage based sa character mo?
One of the reasons I actually became a warlock is because of a tragedy regarding my town, and I'm very closely connected to my birthplace. So I see it as a very conservative. Very relationships are very important for me.
So, Kian, it does strike you very strangely, like how something like this could happen. That the audacity of this Saito person to go behind her father's wishes
mm-mm.
to marry someone else aside from what was given to her by tradition. It's a clear breaking of tradition. So it's kind of like very strange to you. It's almost offensive.
Mm.
Na parang, and you see that his Tevious reaction here is you judge him as a very weak person at this point because he gave in to the pressure of his daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say Maitrim, parang this whole situation is it's difficult to interpret like based on your background, but with it makes sense to you somehow that there are exceptions to tradition. That like being a warlock, being a worshipper or a follower of dark gods, I would say that in order to get what you want, sometimes you have to break tradition.
Right. Right. Um.
The rest of you are confused, and I'll leave it up to you guys whether with your roles now with your fours and fives. I'll leave it up to you how you would interpret this and where you would side. Kasi parang you're not quite sure how to feel. So siguro yung gut instinct nyo na lang, it's more probably pushing you towards that.
Ako, I guess DM what I was also trying to get from that vibe check is if he's telling the truth na amicable na sila ni Lazar Wolf.
Nothing about this man has ever put you in a feeling that he's being untruthful.
Okay.
He's very authentic from the very start, from his speech earlier to now. Nothing has changed except that slight snap na nakita nyo.
Okay.
Yun yung pag-break ng character niya.
Okay.
Tapos parang nagbalik siya sa kanyang ano. It's not really proud that he was angry, but sometimes it does happen.
I talk to Mayor Tevye and I tell him, it's great to hear that you're amicable with Lazar, but this still puts him as the prime suspect right now because there's motive.
Like what? I'm not sure I follow. How would he benefit from kidnapping my daughter? Wouldn't that put our relationship even more sundered? Wouldn't that
Well,
push?
maybe he's just pretending that he's amicable with you. We don't know that yet.
That way he still gets to keep his breaking business relationship with you, while at the same time fulfilling an evil need of getting revenge.
Well, he suffers from these kidnappings too, as you see,
Ano? Yeah, right. His daughter. Okay,
I see.
gotcha.
because the businesses here are suffering because we're afraid to even stay in this town. So it doesn't make sense to me, like why he would put the security of this town in question when he still has his own stakes in this town as well. He has his own interests.
All right.
And Lazar Wolf does love his interests. His business is this
Wait,
business is his main wife.
wala siyang wala siyang
Vested
anak
interest.
na nakidnap, no, DM.
Wala. Wala siyang meron siyang
Still.
he does say siguro let's just say na parang he does fill you in with Lazar Wolf. He is a widower. So ang wife niya did die but they didn't have any sons or daughters.
So he doesn't have a child.
No.
Okay. That's
So the
still
reason
okay.
he tells you the reason why he wanted Saitel as his wife because
He wanted to
he
have a
felt
child.
like he wanted to have a child with a new wife kasi his wife passed away.
Okay. So it's the lizard folks. What do you think, guys?
And then I turn towards Saitel and tell her I understand um, tradition, and I also understand that some things must be done outside of tradition. But the important thing here, and I look towards both of them, is to look for the ones that make relationships matter the most. And please, if you have anything you can tell us, um, it would help. And I turn to uh, the mayor. We'd still probably still talk to sorry the guy
Lazar.
Bizarre, yeah, in order for us to really maybe get the pieces together. Um, he may know something that you don't, you do not. Um, but again, if you know anything, please, for everyone's sake.
You know, I have tried everything in my power to learn everything there is to know about whatever is happening in this town, but I truly um, was seeking for answers. And that is why I reached out. That is why I was open to looking for outside help. I was sending missives to different guilds, but they all fell silent. I don't know what to do. And you hear a quiver in his voice. I'm just the father wanting his daughter to come home safe.
I
And
know.
if you see it fit to talk to anyone in this town, please do. I welcome it. I give you my blessing to investigate anyone in this town, but please, I implore you. And I look. He looks to Caan. Please give them that benefit of the doubt, because this entire town is suffering.
I twist my neck a little bit for it para tumunog yung vertebrae niya, and then I nod in recognition.
Um,
I turn to the party waiting for their response.
Pax turns to the mayor and parang solemnly nods, bows basically. And we'll do it. We'll do what we can. And then he turns to Saitel. Uh, you've you've probably lost so much. Don't lose this relationship with your father. And then I kind of like tap Illidan on the shoulder. And parang kind of motions him na maybe we should go outside and do our thing.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be insensitive to what's happening right now, but I do need to ask Saitel something. I turn to
Go ahead.
her and I ask her, I found out that Bilke had nightmares prior to her disappearing. Can you tell me more about what she told you?
You see, Saital kind of look to the father a little bit for a moment, and then looks to the party. You gather that she is tentative, but she gives into it anyway. She says, "Bill,
Please, time is of
Bill,
the essence.
Bilke is she's a special child, not in a sense of any, not in a sense of she can practice magic or whatever talents that you have, but she has always been sensitive to dark things, and she's been communicating that to you, Father, for a long time, and you never listened. But I always did. She's always felt a darkness around this town. And she has always shared to you the dreams that she has had, but you never listened to her.
This this catches Pax's attention, being a warlock. Dreams, you said. And then I recall what Chava mentioned. Your sister, Chava, she told me that she saw your sister walk down and before she disappeared. Um, and that's the time when she was abducted. Uh, does this make sense to you? I mean, and I tell her of what Chava basically told.
Yes, I was the first to go down, hearing a loud crash in the window downstairs, and I immediately ran down. Um, to check on what was happening. I didn't see much except for there was a loud whimpering sound from the window, and I could almost swear that it was Vilke crying. I ran out the house to chase, but I could not find her. I went for hours searching.
Hmm.
But
And
I could not find her. Not any trace. No. There were some footprints. There were a lot of footprints heading into the Misty Forest. And
and
our
then
searching party has also, like, the day after, we organized search parties to search for Bilge around the forest areas. Didn't find any trace of her.
hmm, is Bill Kid the only one in your family who has this? And then parang you see parang Pax kind of like hesitates to say the word ability to dream of such
Okay.
thing.
In your mind, you hear no, and footsteps coming from the second floor comes down, and it's the wife, Golden.
And I just parang you see parang startled si Pax, but parang he's not that surprised being exposed to like already freaky things as a warlock. He just smiles and then he parang curtsies, milady.
And he says, Tevye, you know that I was a priestess for Shantae. You know I have powers. I have abilities as well. Although I might have given up that life to marry you, we know that somehow there was a chance that one of our daughters would possess the same powers as well, abilities. And when we saw that in Bilke, you were scared. You did not want her to go about adventuring, chasing evil spirits and defeating them, and going in the sake and protecting the realm of Shantea. You did not want that for her life, but that was always a possibility. Tevye just nods. So yes, comes from my line of the family. My sisters were all priestess. I was the one who chose this life. So it's not strange. And you see Saital kind of like, parang, ma? It's the first time her hearing about this. Parang, huh?
Ang Pax kind of gives this parang bitter sweet expression on his face. Parang you could see like it's something that he's always wanted to have, but he had to get it through other means. And then he kind of like turns to the wife. Sorry, what's the name of the wife again? TM?
Gold or
Gold,
gold.
yeah. Okay. And then item, milady, is there anything that you may have maybe from your past or from your encounters that would merit such heinous crimes?
You know, the history of this town is very interesting. Years before, centuries before, there was a dark power beneath this town. There was a temple that, based on what we've learned in history, was squashed by adventurers like yourself, magic users, mages. And it held the town together by binding this dark entrance. And the magic still holds true, even to this day. And no mage, whether weak or powerful, they have tried over the years to unlock it, even adventurers like yourself, but they were never able to do so. The magic is strong. From that magic, born this town, this wonderful farm, the promise of Shantea. From something evil came something good.
Hmm. From
But I
evil
always
something.
knew, but I always knew that Bilke was special. I wanted to teach her, guide her how to use her senses, but she was too young.
Mm.
She's but 13 years old. She needed more time to attune to her powers, to really understand what abilities she can do.
Did the other abducted kids feature the same kind of ability?
That's a good question. But I gather, as special as the children may be, they're not as special as Bilke, no. I was not able to sense any arcane magic from them, from whatever power is left within me. I unfortunately could not sense the same from what happened from that night.
If anything, is there anything that you could maybe you could point us to the right direction? We are in the midst of a lot of clues, and we will get to the bottom of this, and we will check every clues. But it will be maybe helpful for us if you could maybe give us something that we could check or investigate or go to or talk to, please.
I think we have a main lead right now, which is the Misty Forest.
And I
What say
turn
you?
I turn to her. Then would that make sense? Do you sense any arcane energy?
The Misty Forest has always held some magic, and it has always been a source of good. But there are always forces that are try to influence these sacred grounds. Uh, Based on what I've heard, the rumors that I've heard that the Misty Forest was a gateway for it looks to Illidan. He says, for a certain branch of your kind, the Drow, was told that there was a gateway towards the Drow realms in the Misty Forest. But that is a rumor. However, I trust that the goddess will point you towards the right direction, adventurers. You need only follow what's already been laid to you.
Illidan nods, and based on his calculations, I guess, in his mind, he says, "Well, there are two. Well, Lazar is out of the question, so there are only two leads left that we have. It's either the lizard folk, Misty Forest." I asked the party.
I am not too keen in facing the arcane just of yet. It's too much for us to maybe comprehend without really checking the physical realm or the physical aspect of things. Perhaps we should go with the lizard folk. At least it's something that we can physically handle, or maybe even just at least we can communicate with them, hopefully.
Yeah, can I recall if the lizard folk have a specific language that they use, or do they also speak
Um,
in? Wait, no. I'm gonna ask Devia. Mayor
mhm.
Devia, do these lizard folk speak in common?
They do. They also speak Draconic.
Hmm.
Mm.
Not one of my languages. I apologetically said it.
They do speak Common, as you've read that they do write in Common as well.
I
Okay then.
loosened the grip on my. I slowly move my hand away from the hilt of my sword. I relax my my stance, and I nod to them, and I walk out the room.
Yeah. Golda approaches Tevye. You see, Tevye is visibly upset, but he's holding on to his head and he's kind of quietly sobbing. She casts calm emotions, and Tevye is given some sort of comfort. He looks to you and he says, "Please do whatever you can. You can talk to these families." He gives you a list of families that you can talk to before you head out to the lizard folk, if you would want. Um, he points you towards the direction of the house of Lazar Wolf, and gives you information as to where you can find the families of the missing children, if in case you'd like to proceed there. But just depends on your course of action at this point. As you're deciding na lang what you'd like to do, can we have a quick 5-minute break?
Sure,
Na
DM.
lang?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's come back mga 11. It's 11:15 to me. Let's resume 11:20.
Okay.
Alright.
Go, go.
I too.
Okay?
Meow.
It's okay, Lu. Keep doing that. Para entertain ang stream. Moo.
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 Bak, 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 bak.
Okay,
Ay, Carl,
mag-RP
may
kayo.
question ako, Carl.
What?
Carl, may question.
Sige.
Di ba,
Yeah.
Hamlet tong place, di ba?
Hamlet? What do you mean?
Hamlet,
Um,
anong
ah,
pangalan ng place nga?
I think it was Hamlet. He did mention it. Oo.
Hamlet yan, di ba?
Mm. Well, a hamlet is
Hamlet.
supposed to have it's supposed to have, it's kind of like an estate where it's one of the lands owned by one of the local lords or one of the knights of the local lords. depending of course on the setting. I don't know
Uh-huh,
how
uh-huh.
I don't know how this works in the Forgotten Realms eh. Diba? With Forgotten Realms, we have cities, we have towns, we have
Yeah.
villages,
Realms
'di ba?
to, bro.
Ha?
Forgotten Realms tong setting natin.
Hello?
Forgotten
Hello?
Realms
Can
na
you
yung
hear,
setting?
can you hear me?
Forgotten
Yeah, yeah,
Realms
yeah.
yung setting, right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. So ano to for para so there are ano rin hamlets talaga in ano din in Forgotten
Yes.
Realms. Okay.
Gotcha.
Eh,
So,
alam ko ang mga hamlets are also yun nga owned by certain people, mga bishops or dukes who are in a specific duchy of some sort. I'm not sure.
pero we know no na parang na-mention ni DM kanina na merong parang dark magical history. Tama
Yeah,
ba?
na-mention naman niya yun. He
Aha.
did mention that. Yung nature ng dark magic na yun, what it does exactly, I don't think we know. Do we?
Or do we know na merong dark history yung
Well,
ano?
well, alam natin, he mentioned it to us eh. Pero
Yeah,
ang
pero
hindi
yung
ko lang,
characters ba alam ba natin?
ayun nga eh, parang hindi ko alam what yung nature ng dark energy na to.
Yeah, kaya nga eh.
Like, how does it affect the village? Like, if I can remember, parang there's a lot of death, question mark? I'd like to know. I
Yeah.
forgot. I was
Yeah,
I
baka
was
pwede
trying to get
natin ano.
I was trying to get into the mind space of my character na medyo stoic and he just wants to beat shit up.
Yeah, ako naman gusto swindler kasi to eh.
Kaya hindi ako ma-RP ngayon unlike before.
No problem.
Like
No
very
problem.
kaya sabi,
It's you want the taste of blood. Blah, blah, blah.
Kasi ko eh. May
hmm?
feedback ba?
Ah?
Yeah, dude, medyo
Um,
parang nagcha-chop off something.
Yeah.
It's probably your RAM.
Oh.
Moo. Kuko.
Okay, kumusta kayo so far? Okay lang ba? Any
Yeah,
questions?
question.
Interesting.
I guess yung question ko pala kanina was, na-mention ba sa amin kung ano yung, like, there was a dark magic behind the town. Parang we understood that. Pero was it mentioned ba ano yung parang dark history specifically? Like, were there people killed or ano, were there...
Make a history check na lang.
Lord.
Okay, sige. Can
I do that as well din there?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's right. Sige.
parang hindi ko na-specify sa ano kasi, hindi ko natanong.
Wah.
2, fuck.
Eh.
Nine.
Nine.
4. Please
I
roll
don't
high,
remember
EJ.
anything.
Wait, di kasi mali yung ginawa. Paano mag-cancel ng roll dito?
Right click.
First
Right click
roll
mo
na lang
yung
siguro.
dice.
Right click
Just
lang.
roll it and roll again. I'll take your first
Ay,
roll.
ang
20, yeah!
Let's go!
Kala ko ba i-cancel mo yung roll?
Let's go.
I
Huh?
take it back.
No, joke lang.
Tinanggal yung zero.
No. I'll honor that 20. I'll honor your 20.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see. Illidan. When he was talking about when Golde was talking about dark magic, you do recognize that the Gillian's Hill. You've heard that this location before was
Elefard?
well, let's just say na whatever resources that you can find about it, that's what you know. But essentially, there were a history of illithids here before.
Oh.
There were so everything that you know you can find out about it, I'll allow you to that is canon knowledge to you. But essentially, there is a rumor or legend here that parang Gillian's Hill has a reputation of having a boogeyman legend, essentially. So there were stories about a vampire bat who lived in the crypt underneath the town's graveyard. So there were deaths around the livestock before, certain disappearances before. So another legend says that Based on the legend, the residents of Gillian's Hill once tried to kill the creature, but were transformed into vampires.
Oh,
Oh no.
Strad.
Oh my god. I swear to God, if you bring us to Barovia,
Gotta shit your pants.
I will
It's a
actually shit
very
my pants.
it's a
Layo,
very
layo
interesting
kayo.
one shot.
Nandito ba ang Barovia? Misty
I
Forest?
don't know, man.
I don't even know.
You can bring us to Barovia
Can
anytime.
appear anywhere. Yeah. The mist can appear
Don't-
anywhere.
Di ba nga
Biglang may
Yeah,
portal lumabas.
The ano naman talaga of the curse of Barovia is the mist itself. Eh. So,
Yeah.
so
Parang,
it's not, they're not mutually exclusive. Like mists can happen when there are dark forces about.
oh my god. He also mentioned, boys, he mentioned Misty Forest. I don't know, man.
Forest.
It's literally the name of the forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the Misty Forest. So.
You
Question is the mist coming from Barovia or the Shadowfell or not? That's the question.
parang
Dum
hotel,
dum dum.
parang Hotel
kung,
California.
kung mist lang din ng Misty Forest, okay lang. Pero kung mist na galing sa Shadowfell, yun, iba yun.
Oh my god.
Pero anyway.
You can,
Yun, trivia lang. Trivia time. Itong Gideon Hill, if I remember correctly, malapit to sa Mount Elefard.
Mhm.
Sa map ba yun? Yun. Malapit siya.
Yes. I think so. Teka, let me check. Map!
Underneath this place is an ancient elven ruin
Yes.
called Elefarn.
underneath
Oh.
your clothes, there's a man in your
Natabunan lang siya
story.
ng
So everything you
Spoilers or
find
something.
about the lore is canon.
Nice.
So it could be coming from a mythal, which is a powerful spell na non-corrupt. Or, yeah, it could be any number of things. Pwedeng yun, may mind players, kasi Easily
Meron ding
Underdark na yun
elements.
But I guess, yun na. Gusto mag-lizard folk muna eh. Ano ba gusto nyo guys? Lizard folk tayo?
Laser folk ako kasi at least walang arcane ka ano.
Gusto ni Jean mag-level up muna ng
Okay.
level 2 bago na tayo sumabak sa Magic.
Ako
Oh
rin,
my
may
God.
Misty.
level to eh. Parang may blade singer na ako eh.
Well,
Sige, G.
At least pa-cross out lang din.
Okay,
Oo.
guys, G na kayo?
Jean!
Okay.
Jean.
So, the family proceeds back to their business, and what happened? Oh my god. Okay, and then of course, like Tevye requests some time to recover from this emotional encounter, so he proceeds back to his room to take a rest, as the entire town seems to be proceeding to going back to their usual to their evacuation essentially. So may mga families you do see in the town who are evacuating outside. So paalis na sila. Meron ding iba na parang who are volunteering to stay. There's a few of them who said that they would like to stay. So what is it that you'd like to do at this point?
Find, ano yung pangalan? Nara.
Meet the lizards.
Si Lazar Folk? Is it Lazar Wolf? Or
Hindi.
proceed na kayo diretso sa ano?
Ayaw ni Mayor eh. So,
Hindi, actually, sinabi niya lang na parang if you do, parang proceed with tact.
Oh, sure.
Kasi ayaw niya na parang galing sa inyo, tapos,
Wag daw torturin.
don't,
you freaking kidnapper.
Good cup, bad
so,
cup.
parang maaano din kasi siya, he might be put in a situation na, alam mo yun, parang
Awkward.
galing sa meeting sa inyo, tapos diretso kayo Lazar Wolf, ikaw nag-kidnap, no? So parang isipin. Just proceed with parang you can investigate who you want to investigate, but don't scare the town. They've been through enough.
Kaya
Yep.
mag-decide.
Ano oras na DM?
At this point, it's probably around lunchtime. Past lunch, I would say.
Okay. Akala ko kasi gabi na.
No,
Nak-
you arrived at the checkpoint around 10. I know, around 9-ish. Kasi from your camp, you woke up, proceeded to Gillian's Hill for another 2 hours or so. Tapos, following the Tradesway. From the checkpoint, it's another hour to reach Gillian's Hill. And you're here around past lunch after investigating.
So the kidnappings happen at night. How far is the
Yes.
Lizards Marsh from here?
It would probably take you half a day to reach the Lizards Marsh.
I say we
Depending
stay.
on
Yeah, I say we
depending on your
stay.
space.
Tapos bantay, baka mamaya may makidnap na naman tapos sundan na lang natin.
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
would agree. I would agree.
Okay,
At
that
least
seems
for the night.
sounds like a plan.
Okay.
In the meantime, what are you doing to spend the time here in
Ano ba
this
maganda?
town?
I'm gonna find out who else has kids in the town.
Okay, so who else has kids? Essentially, there are families around. The innkeeper. I know, sorry, innkeeper. Meron din mga random villagers that some of them have kids as well. One or two kids. But generally, it's a very fertile town. I would say. Almost all of them have children.
Yun lang.
Very
Can
productive.
we set up traps for the guy? Maybe I don't know. Or for the entity.
Bear trap tapos yung NPC yung na-trap, no?
You do know that there is a small militia composed of fathers or elderly gentlemen who have set up like watch points or outposts or stuff around the town specifically. But there are also occasionally there are patrols that you see of the Baldurians that come around the town, and they just go through, talk to some villagers, get some supplies, and then just proceed back to their own business. Pero yun yung essentially parang it's a high alert town itself. So para everyone is essentially has a role to play in terms of like how they can prevent certain things from happening. And you do realize that parang as these disappearances happen, parang it's a point of frustration because they don't really understand or know what else they can do more to prevent these things from happening. Kasi they just seem to happen. Children seem to just vanish out of thin air. And there was, if you talk, so depende lang like who you talk to this point. So there are a number of people here. I'll give you na lang a list of the names of the children who went missing and the fathers. I'll paste it sa Discord.
So guys, I'm thinking we could set a perimeter rope with bells. Tapos we instruct everyone to stay within the perimeter, essentially, para pag may tumunog na bell, alam natin kung saan yung direction na may parang intruder. I don't know. Kayo guys, what do you think?
Or pwede
Yeah,
natin
pero
bigyan
baka
ng bell bawat bata.
Yeah, we
Bigyan
can
na?
gather them in one place para
Hindi pwede kasi baka magkaroon ng panic.
Alright, children.
Alright, children, stay here.
Matinding
I think
persuasion check yun.
Tapos si Myung Ki talaga yung magbabantay ba, no? Hello,
Guys,
children.
what do you think? Anong gusto nyo gawin?
pero the town is already in a state of panic. They know that their children are disappearing. If anything, it
Yeah,
shows the town na you're willing to you're willing to go to these measures to protect their children, di ba? Gather them all in one place para we can keep an eye on them.
Wait, sabi din pala ni Saital kanina, may tracks siyang nakita.
Yes.
Right?
Into the Misty
Right,
Mountains, right?
That was 10 days ago. So mahirap. Parang
Wala na. Okay.
wala na yun.
Going to the Misty,
Pero she said, going to the Misty Forest.
But you
Misty
can
Forest.
certainly scout the area if you'd like to.
How far is the Misty Forest from here?
From here, probably around 5 hours. No, less siguro, like 3 hours siguro walk. towards the
We
main
can go
part
there
of
and
the.
make map before night, no, guys? What do you
Yeah,
guys think?
definitely. Yeah. Realistically, yeah.
Kasi I want to
Kasi
send sana with our. Sorry. Go.
yeah, kasi it's near but it's not that. Alam mo yun, hindi siya ganun kalapit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Para siyang Davao tapos makita mo yung Mount Apo, malayo pa rin.
Gotcha. So I wanted to try to arcane it. Well, can I arcane here to try to sense? Wait. I have
We
detect
can ano
magic,
naman,
so
we can fast track certain things, but let's just say that it would take you an hour to do it. So it's probably one tapos you take about an hour to arcane feel yourself around. So can you
for any
describe to me
physical.
like what specifically would you like to do to sense for anything ano parang ill magics or meron ka bang like a ritual that you'd like to do or what is the method of you finding out?
It just tries to meditate, become attuned to the weave itself, to
Mm.
sense any fluctuation in the energies. For example, if he senses like any necromantic energy,
I'd like the same thing.
transmutation, something like that.
Okay, so it's a duo. Okay, so given that you do have an hour, I'd say go ahead and roll with advantage.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
do I roll DM? I'd like to
Uh,
choose
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
Okay, ikaw na lang go. I'm helping you.
If anything that you'd like to roll, EJ, for this specific ano, is there
I
anything you'd
mean,
like to roll?
am I helping him? Because that's why he has advantage, or
Sige, pwede naman. That can work.
Sige.
I roll with advantage DM.
Kasi,
Mm.
yeah, with advantage, go.
20 plus 2. 22.
Oh my god, that's your 20. Okay. This is what you see. As you close your eyes and focus on what do you focus on? As you close your eyes, what do you see?
I would like to first check on traces of ether, and then as it change into arcane magic, and then I try to parang wisps of it, and then parang I'll try to sense if it turns into this string, and then it hopefully gathers into this parang huge pile of arcane energy.
It's more than a pile. It's a fucking train. Hits you like a fucking train. And you there, as you're focusing on the weave, you feel yourself, alam mo parang Doctor Strange yung in-out of body niya si Hope. Parang ganun yung experience of takes you out of the weave and all you see is black.
Yo.
You look around, almost like Stranger Things na dun siya sa si 11 na puno. You see the entire ground is filled with parang a very thin layer of water and mist around you. That's what you see. What do you do?
I try to focus more and try to go beyond the veil.
All right.
Am I still aware? Can I still speak? It's a physical form, ka?
Oh, not that.
Oh shit, roll initiative.
Wag mo na.
All right.
Oh god.
Do I get to speak to my physical from my
No,
physical?
you are transported. You try to speak, but parang words that you try to enunciate echo back to you, and they travel up into the sky.
Right.
But there's nothing there. You look around, you look up. There's nothing there. As you focus more into the weave, you smell smoke. Almost like the smell of lightning as it strikes the trees. That certain sense of magic. You're aware of magic. You've practiced magic. You know that magic is sourced from nature, from everything around you, from the arcane. Right. You sense that this town You see flashes of creatures running around, shadows. You see in the distance a form, a dark figure standing in front of you.
I approach.
You approach, make a strength check for me.
Oof.
Oh shit. Wait lang.
Do-
-1 pala ako na to.
In the in the other world, is it normal? What are we seeing, DM?
0.
You don't really see anything at this point.
Like is Pax just meditating? Is that what we're seeing?
No, you see Pax kind of like close his eyes and attune. But there's a split second na parang may jolt sa kanyang body. And Pax is here. Well, that's what you see. But during this time, the split second na nangyari to, Pax is transported to this plane. You're not sure what's going on. You see a figure and you try to approach, but you can't lift your foot off the ground. It's stuck. You see you're transfixed to this figure in front of you, and with a snap, he appears in front of you. You see a shadow. He whispers. What languages do you speak?
Common and infernal.
You do not understand his words. It's gibberish to you. But most likely, you do understand what he means. He wants you out. And he screams in your mind's ear, parang out.
And I struggle to fight back, and parang I try to parang out of my emotions and conviction. Eh, parang kumbaga, tell me where the kids are.
He grabs your neck, lifts you up, and you try to struggle. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Oh God. Athletics pa
Oh
talaga.
shit.
While this happens, I'll parang start invoking my patron and tell her, not yet. I'm
Who
not
is your
yet done.
patron?
The Raven Queen.
All right. As you you speak these words, or do you mutter to yourself lang in your mind?
I
Speak it out
mutter. I mutter to myself basically, parang baga out of desperation. He's feeling desperate and immobile. I tell to myself na I mutter as baga a champion, quote unquote. Not yet. I'm not yet done. No justice has been fulfilled yet.
Justice. I'll show you justice. And you see, back in the real world, you see Pax meditate. His body shirks up, and he starts to levitate 5 feet,
Oh no, Stranger Things.
10
I tried
feet.
to pull him down.
I draw my sword.
Make a strength check. Make an athletics.
Oh, no.
Athletics.
I don't
Go
know how
for
to
it.
drawing my sword would help, but
Don't draw your sword. Come here and pull him down. I tell him, okay.
I sheath my sword and I try to pull him down.
Okay,
Alright,
athletics.
I'll go for it as well.
Okay, I got it. 12.
With advantage na yan? Kasi I'm helping na.
Okay. Sige.
Make a strength check then, Kian.
Okay.
Athletics.
Athletics, okay.
Din DM.
17.
13. Dalawang 13. Sakto talaga sana. Scenario Bad number.
All right, as you're holding on to him, trying to pull him down, you pull some of him down. It kind of like pulls him down somewhat, but you don't really pull him down completely. But he's floating.
Can Can we reach his head?
Um, he's 10 feet up the ground. You can certainly try to climb.
Hindi, I'm gonna pinch his balls.
Punch it! No, no, no! Punch it! Punch it! Punch it!
Not out of it.
Flick it. That has been given to the Raven Mother.
I will punch it. I will punch it.
You
I have
don't
no
feel
more
any
balls.
balls.
That has been sacrificed to the Raven Mother.
Go punch it, man.
But I'm not punching that. He'll die. You do it.
And as you punch it, you feel nothing. You hit nothing.
Roll an attack.
Okay, fine. Goddamn. I'm sorry, Gene. I was joking.
Just okay. I still have balls though.
9
We're not celibate.
plus strength modifier DM, right?
Yeah.
Ay, sorry.
Yeah,
Force of
that,
habit.
or dexterity.
I would say roll with advantage because he's technically restrained.
Ah, yeah, actually.
Incapacitated, yeah.
18 plus 1. That's 19 DM.
Roll damage.
That's 1 ano lang? 1d1 lang ba plus strength modifier or 1d4?
One plus strength.
Oh,
One
well,
plus strength.
that's 2. That's 2. If 1 plus strength.
2. Okay, so automatically crits because he's restrained. So he takes,
Wait,
Gene, you take
wait.
4 points of damage.
Wait.
Asshole.
Gene, go ahead and roll a, let's say, wisdom saving throw.
Just one moment. What is my mod? Sales? Plus 3, 1d20, plus 3. One moment. Come on. Oh, that's a 6. Motherfucker.
Nope. Doesn't seem to have any effect. Gene is, but you did manage to stop his ascension, essentially,
Ascension.
into the air.
I will take the Raven Queen's place. Anyway, go on.
I look at Illidan and say it's not working. Should I punch another time?
Okay, before
kill me, dude.
that, Jin, you see in this dark place, you see the shadow holding on to you. You notice his arms are not huge at all. It doesn't make sense how this almost frail figure having so much strength to lift you up. You do notice that his arms or his hands are pitch black as you travel through from his hand, looking at his forearm, shoulders, into his face. You see nothing but black. Suddenly, you do see 2 silver beads appear where his eyes would be, shining forth as sources of light, peering into your soul. Make a wisdom saving throw.
One moment. $14.
Okay. With the 14, that's you failed. With the 14, you do see your consciousness transfer from where you are, sort of like get sucked into these 2 eyes, and it gives you a vision of a piece of land. You do recognize the same hill that you saw. Only there were no houses, just a field. In this field, you do see red. Bunch of bodies laid down, bleeding, dying. It's nighttime. The shine of the moonlight reflects smoke coming from different sources around you. You see yourself struggling. You feel your arms restrained around what seems to be chains. You try to move, but you can't. You see flashes of faces that you don't recognize, faces of elves, of humans, of dwarves, a magic user, a mage at the back, casting something to produce fire from where you stand. You look below, you see a bunches of wood gather around and start to catch fire. You're being burned at the stake. You feel a searing pain uh, from your lower extremities. A pain that you've never experienced quite before unless you've been burned alive. Out of that, you let out a guttural scream. But it's not your voice that you hear. It's some other voice, almost that of you don't recognize it. It's strange. It's weird. It's not yours. You look around. Your directly. You see your hands. Their hands are not your hands. They're pointed. They have claws, pale white, but covered in blood.
I
What do you do?
I scream. Am I still conscious? Like, is my memory still my own, or am I just living this this scenario?
You're very confused because you're seeing what you're seeing, but you know what you know.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Um, so I scream because of the pain, and then siguro out of instinct, do I throw a curse? Does this person I'm living in throw a curse?
You shout a curse, and um, you feel a magic, a magical restraint cover that curse. So as you were spouting magic, something happened. So essentially, counterspell.
Okay, I um I invoke the Raven Mother. Um, parang it's more of not really out of desperation, but parang not yet because my job is not yet fulfilled. Take me back, and then I try to pierce through the this veil again and try to get back to where I initially was with the figure.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, come on, baby. Roll. Hindi ko magkana fingers ka. Ay lang. This the this that's freaking come on. 17.
Gusto nyo mag-attune sa darkness eh. Okay, so with your 17, you try to break out. In the corner of your eye, you see an uh, a human clad in plate armor with a shield of an emblem you don't recognize. And he is holding on to his right hand is holding on to a wooden stake. He approaches you and stabs you in the chest where your heart would be.
Oof.
He speaks in a language that you don't understand. And you feel the pain of this stake enter your chest, and you see where your arms should be or where your hands should be start to fade into dust.
I
As you fade, you lose strength from your body. You fall, and then you wake up.
And so you see Pax kind of like parang breathe, and then I touch my forehead, I touch my chest, uh, and then I try to parang my mind is kind of still swimming, and I try to look around, and uh, do I see the party?
No, you see me
You
repeatedly punching your balls.
at this point, no. He falls. You fall to the ground from 10 feet. You do take 3 points of damage
Oof.
as you
Okay.
fall. Um, the rest,
Ouch.
as you are, the people holding on to you, they don't take any damage because they're just their feet was like roughly off the ground.
Okay. So
You were floating in the air. What happened to you?
you don't know. I'm not quite sure. I, and then why do my balls hurt a lot?
I point
I
at
point
I point
to
to ano,
Caan.
I point back, I point first at Illidan. We can run an initiative score for it.
I cast hellish rebuke joke. I I tell them I need to rest. This is not a good time for me to be here. I need somewhere uh, place to rest. But before that, I touch Caan, and then I cast prestidigitation, and I imprint on his armor the symbol that I saw in my vision. And then I tell them, that thing, please know that thing. And then I turn to Illidan, that is
I try to
important.
recall DM. Can
The
I recall
emblem.
that
Yeah.
the
Yeah, go
emblem
ahead.
if I've seen it?
Mhm.
The 20 14 plus 3?
Uh,
17.
17.
Wait, is this a history ba or ay di, kahit history pala, sorry.
Yeah,
Plus
it
3
would be
lang.
history. Yeah.
Plus
So
3 lang.
no, you don't really recognize the emblem. Um, Pax, you are cursed.
Okay.
So you have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws.
Okay.
And you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then I tell the party, I don't feel my patron's power flowing. There's a blockage in the force. I don't feel the matron mother's power. There is something wrong. And then
Well, it appears you've experienced what Bilke experienced. Tell us about it. What happened?
I first need to rest. Please take me somewhere I could lie down and rest my balls.
Oh, I pick him up, help him to the tavern of Mayor Tevier. Sit
Mhm.
him down in a bench. On a
Golden,
bench rather.
Otavia is sleeping. Golde does
Okay.
meet you, and she asks, "What's wrong? What happened?"
I tried to peer through the veil. I tried to see where this power is from, and I saw a vision. And I tell her of the vision. I tell everybody of the vision, and then I point. I tell them just before I got this person I was in killed. I saw this emblem, this symbol, and I point towards Kayan's armor. Um, that are what killed those people who were here. And then I proceed to tell them, and I do not feel the arcane energy that once flowed through. There is something wrong.
He looks to you. Tries to learn what's going on. Say 14. She does more or less know. You seem to be cursed. Hmm. Let's see if this can do something. She casts something. She will cast remove curse on you.
She's strong. Okay.
Yep.
We need her in our
Yeah.
party.
She's strong, but she is frail.
Okay.
So, bale, the level remains, but the constitution was not,
Retired na,
it's
She's
not
not
retired na.
there
maintained.
anymore. Okay. Gotcha.
So, she does try to focus on the source of the curse. 7. Okay. She says, she doesn't recognize the curse itself, but it is somewhat of a curse. She doesn't recognize like what sort of curse it is, but it seemed her casting it seemed to have helped somewhat. So you are no longer cursed.
Okay. And then I tell her this symbol as I point towards Caan's armor. Does this seem familiar to you? I sense that there was a lot of loss and death in this place, perhaps from previous settlers here. Uh, it's this place has seen a lot of pain and death. And the last I heard from the figure was he was questioning justice. Do you know any of these things?
You roll a 13. Oh. Um, she ponders a little bit and she says, "I wish I did. I do not recognize this symbol, but maybe Avram can help. Avram is the owner of the library, so probably he would have some information, but it's unlikely. The probably history books that would date as far back as that period because you don't recognize this town being here. It's different, although the landmarks are the same, but it's essentially history from what incidents happened in this town. But such textbooks aren't really available here commonly. You would probably find the information that you're looking for in Candlekeep.
Layo.
Um, I, milady, before you were here, before this town was ever created, were the lizard folk already existing here, or at least nearby?
Um, he'll try to make a history check. She doesn't know.
Okay. I turn to the party. There is something malevolent here. And ironically, based on my experience, if one cannot find justice, there will always be vengeance. And that is what must be happening here.
Yes,
For
you're
now,
right.
I need to rest, and I cast prestidigitation, create like a parang ice pack, and I place it on my balls as I try to rest.
You are
Mm.
given the Cytles room, so you can rest there if you'd like.
Okay, okay.
DM, you mentioned earlier there was a vampire killing here,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
How recent was that?
It would be ano ba yung canon year? Like
Ngayon? Ay, like, sa
yeah.
Adventures League?
Uh, yes.
1489 or 1490?
So, more than 100 years ago.
Okay.
Mm.
So 1-3. 13, ano. something.
So it's not
1300s.
relevant. Okay.
Ang bago lang. Joke.
I'm gonna talk to
How old are
Pax
you
again.
ba, Illidan?
I am 125 though.
So it's more or less, parang when you were a child, maybe.
Yeah. I wouldn't know about it. I was living in
No.
the high forest, like
You the high
northern
forest,
part.
am I right? Sorry. I broke my own fucking rule.
Okay.
Ikaw yung nagsabi mo no
You're
more
walking
No.
contradiction.
Tapos ikaw yung
Alright, let's get on to the RP, guys.
All right. So I try I speak to Pax and I ask him, did you trace the darkness specifically somewhere here in Gillian's Hill?
Did I DM? I mean, I did try to. Can I still recall where the traces of arcane went? for us?
Oh yes. I will point it out to you guys. It's here. You see what I see?
Yep.
Diyan yung stake.
Okay.
As you were overlooking the town layout, so more or less you do know somewhat where you were being burned. So it's there.
Can I go there, DM, and then I ritually cast detect magic over that
Okay.
area?
Yeah, so you cast detect magic. Nothing magical around this area. No, nothing of the sort.
Okay.
There. Yeah, so I would say let me read detect magic. Let's see how powerful it is. For a level 1 spell.
I also consult Tobias. Tobias is the cleric, right?
Yes.
Hey, cleric, do your job.
I
The
consult
fuck are you doing,
Tobias.
cleric?
Tobias, what do you think is happening here?
See a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. So I would say, you catch a hint of magic around the area, but you
Okay.
can't really sense what it is or tell if it's evil or good.
The School of Magic either. Okay. Noted. I consult Tobias and I tell him, what do you think?
Let me just check. Are there any parang artifacts ba DM that may seem to be parang worshipping area or probably
Well,
a ritual something?
I would well, there are parang statues to Shante around, so you gather that this town is generally the Earth Mother's worshippers.
Huh.
Can you try praying to Shantea? I don't know if your deity will approve of that, but maybe we can get a clue from her.
See, they don't like me very much. Let's see. So I'll try to pray to Shantea.
Okay, make
Earth-
a okay.
sige.
How do you pray?
What?
What do you say?
Earth Mother.
Okay. Hello, what's up, dude?
I ask for guidance.
Girl.
No, hindi ba ganyan? Earth Mother, I ask for guidance. Is there anything here that you want us to see? Want us to fix? Or want us to just guide me here?
Okay, make a religion check for me.
Oh my god.
Roll high.
Oh my god. Let's see. That would be a
Saka nag-roll.
Dito, wala. Gitingnan ko lang yung plus ko. That would be a 12.
12?
Religion?
Yep.
For clerics?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
you're not a religious cleric. So,
Yep.
Or agnostic cleric.
agnostic cleric.
I guess.
It's not.
That's why Xerxes makes sense.
I would say that your religion score is not an indication of your faith. It's just your ability
Yeah.
to attune to your religion. and I would say you absolutely hear nothing
Huh.
except
Well, I
for
try.
except for the sound of cows around.
Ah.
Okay,
Okay, well, I tried.
nice try.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, I guess we'll wait for. Wala namang clues na dun sa nightmare ay sa ano sa vision.
I
Ano guys? What do you think?
Ako, DM, since I'm still recuperating, I'd like to maybe also kind of pray to my patron, or maybe just a random, ano lang, random clue or guidance. Not really expecting like a religious person, like a paladin or cleric, but maybe there might be a response from the way between.
Okay, go ahead and roll a religion check. Um, let's see. Myung Ki, what are you doing?
Uh, as all of this is happening, Myung Ki is probably meditating. 'Cause,
Okay. So how are you meditating and where?
like, he's back on the rocks, just sitting.
Okay, so what are you meditating? What's your intent? So I understand.
Yeah, that's how you works.
Yeah. Because currently it's nighttime na, no?
No, it's not nighttime. It's probably around 2.
Oh, 2-ish. Right. Meditating, parang yung usual na empty mind.
Okay, so do you close your eyes or you keep them open?
No, close eyes.
Okay. All right. As you go into your own world, I would say make a perception check for me.
12?
Your butt is hot because the stones are hot. That's about it.
Grab
Mind
go
over
under
body.
tree.
14 DM patrol. Do I sense anything? Nothing?
You sense your body aching a lot, and the pain, the searing pain of the fire lingers around your body. Parang you know what happened. Parang you feel it somehow like a phantom scar. You feel also your chest kind of hurting very much. And as you touch your chest, as you kind of rub it, it's still very sore. Something is
Okay.
there. It's like it.
Okay. Am I just alone in the room?
You are at this point, yeah.
Okay. I'll just reflect as you go on what happened. Try to maybe is it possible for me to write down the words that I heard without just the sound of it?
Yung parang phonetics.
Yeah,
Make
parang
an
phonetics lang.
make an intelligence check for me.
One moment. D20, what's my intelligence? Oh, it's gonna be a flat roll. 12.
You try your best. It's there somewhat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I'll just rest and maybe just reflect on what's
Okay, how do you
happened.
rest? Do you sleep?
Yeah, I just sleep.
Okay. Noted. Okay, so Tobias, what are you doing?
DM, can I check na dito pa rin sa dito sa area? Saan yung camera?
Pretty
Dito pa rin
much, yeah.
tayo.
You're back in town
Um,
kasi something happened.
Ay, okay. Ito na pala. Oh, I wanted to check sana if there are any parang hidden passages kanina.
Where?
Bumili ka tayo.
Dun sa ano?
Dun sa yung sa area.
Make a investigation check.
Yeah, I really suck at this.
I help DM.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
That must
What are we looking for? Tobias, what are we looking for?
Well, there might be passages over here. You know,
Passages. Okay.
you felt something, and maybe there's a thing. Oh, come on. Let it be. Ano yun?
15
15.
plus.
No, it's a 14.
No, you don't really find anything.
Damn it.
With your passive perception though, 15 passive perception mo, tama?
Yes, damn.
You do clock, no, parang there are occasional like patrols going around. You do clock that there are a patrol of 3 seemingly Baldurian, similar to the garbs that you saw sa checkpoint. Just looking around um and they're essentially on horseback and they're trotting around the town and they're looking at you.
Do I feel that there's an intention, or are they just curious? Oh,
Um, from where they are, it's difficult to know, but go ahead and make an insight check. This would indicate how you feel about it.
like how I felt about the way
Kung
they
ano
look
yung,
at me.
alam mo yun, parang kung magtingin sa'yo, parang,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go ahead.
See? Okay, let's check. Saan na yan?
Kaya you do see this too with the passive perception of 60.
Okay.
Nahulog pa talaga. Oh, cool. That's a insight yan, no? 19, 20,
Yeah.
24.
Oh, they're watching you, yeah. There's no malice, but you see a certain sense of alam mo yung parang tinitingnan ka ng police. Parang they're sizing you up, they're looking at what you're doing, anything suspicious. Because you are like foreign elements around, so
Do
Maybe
I
Sorry.
do I know ba them why they're here? Like
well, you
the
have been
missile for
told
the ano?
you have been told that there are patrols, yeah.
Yep.
So you would know that.
Maybe we
Grabe,
should
this-
ask them a question about, the case. What do
Uh-huh.
you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Sabi, nandito mo kayo sa town.
Hmm.
Okay. So you asked them?
Yeah,
Go,
sure.
Tobias.
Okay.
We'll approach.
Yeah.
As
Fine.
kayo approach. Myung Ki is still meditating or is he coming with you?
Ako, I'll be staying with where Myung Ki is. I'll be watching for the fiddler guy in the roof if he's still
He's not on the roof anymore.
yeah. I'll just hang with Myung Ki muna. I
Okay,
like
so,
how he's quiet.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, Myung Ki, where you're sitting actually. It's really hot. But anyway, you approach the guards. They do somewhat recognize where you are, but they kind of like raise their hands and stopping you from getting any closer. It says, whoa, wait, what do you want?
We were just looking around here, you know. What are you guys doing here?
Just looking around, you know.
Ah, you're just looking around too, huh?
That's what patrols are.
Uh-huh.
Looking around.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
Titigan lang sila.
What are you doing here? Looking around?
Just looking around.
Yung imagine ko mga parang cowboys na nag-uusap na ganyan eh.
Pataasan ng ihi ang food. So, what business do you have here?
Well, I heard some things are happening in this town, and I'd just like to ask you a question.
All right.
Do you have any idea what happened here?
You have some idea? Being
Uh-huh.
sarcastic.
So, I was thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking. I was thinking.
Maybe you can share with us what you found out thus far, so that can help us solve the problem.
Help you solve the problem?
I show him my badge. From
Oh.
a fellow mercenary to another mercenary. It's just a job.
All right. Make a persuasion check without disadvantage because you showed the badge.
Okay. Let's go. +1. Come on.
I get nervous around
10?
Oh my god.
mercenaries. Oh no.
How about you let us know what you know?
Talk shit, get hit.
Well,
If you know anything.
Ooh.
Oh.
Buti na lang di ako sumama sa inyo.
init ulo ba ni Kea?
I will not.
Sayang. Sana pinasama natin.
Well, we're
Initiative
looking to see what happens tonight.
Why, you gonna do something tonight?
No, we're just waiting for what's gonna happen tonight.
Is anything happening tonight?
I don't know yet.
Kinda looks at you suspiciously. We're watching you.
Ooh.
Let's
Suit
go.
yourself.
Man,
And they just go about.
it's a good day, was it there?
Something weird about those guards.
Okay. Sana magkita na tayo ng gabi, guys.
I thought we can check out the lizard folk.
Ano pa bang nandito sa town, DM? Like, may crypt ba? May...
There are legends of a crypt. But
pero
you-
walang... Yung graveyard, parang walang end. Parang graveyard lang talaga siya.
Graveyard din siya. Yeah.
Okay. Isip ko kasi parang may mausoleum or something tapos may entrance sa babae. Baka may ganun. Okay, so wala. Wala na akong
Ito
ano
sa
guys,
may
idea.
ito sa may tree, ito sila yun, no? Yung itong tatlo na ito yung guard. Ito ba?
Ay,
yun sila?
hindi. Wala sila sa map, so it's just
Ay, okay.
mga townspeople yun sila na parang nag-uusap na parang, uy, dito tayo bro ha? Stay lang tayo bro ha? Hindi tayo alis bro ha? Okay bro. I got your back.
So, do I see parang a hatch dito, DM? Kasi yung parang kala ko nandito kasi tayo sa yung saan yung dice ko. Kala ko nandito kami kanina.
With your investigation check kanina, kasi that was the assumption I had also na you were investigating that part. So,
yeah,
no.
yun nga if
You
there are
didn't find any strange
passages.
passageways leading to a secret tomb underneath the town. Walang ganun.
No. Oh well.
So
As
let's
far
just
as I
wait.
know.
Fast forward na tayo. Sobrang tagal na
Yeah.
natin dito eh.
Paikot-ikot tayo actually.
This is
Baka biglang
sounding like a
magka-showdown.
campaign.
Biglang magka-showdown pa.
Anyway, sige, fast forward tayo sa gabi.
Yeah.
Wala na kayong gustong kausapin, wala kayong gustong interview.
Are you sure ayaw nyo
Ano?
naman kausapin yung mga lizard people? Ay, kasi...
Kasi it will take half a day,
nga
parang
pala, yeah,
6
yeah.
hours eh. to
You're
get
right.
there. So,
Tama. Never mind.
Okay, so it's nighttime. Like, it's probably past dinner. You ate your dinners with Tevye and the family. They tell you stories about their business, their cheese business, and anything about cheese is pretty boring. Talks to you about the religion of Shantea, even tries to evangelize you and convert you guys, but kind of Golder kind of like stops. If they really want to, worship Shantea, they will. And as you, after dinner, you start your, like, how do you want to approach this ba? Like, do you patrol, or was the plan to gather all the children? Was that going to happen, or?
is there
ano
like,
ba?
hindi, ako gusto ko parang sa watchtower. Kung meron silang watchtower dito.
There's not really a watchtower, but there are
Vantage
posts.
points.
Parang there are like vantage points around.
Yeah.
Like this small hill
Okay.
here can give you some vantage point around. Maybe the fiddler spot
Yeah,
is
the
a really
part.
good
Yeah,
vantage
okay, I'll
point.
climb up there then.
I will.
Sige.
Or maybe
Okay.
the monk should.
Okay,
Maybe the
so
monk should, yeah.
let's say that you guys, there are like passageways getting there. There's like there is a ladder of some sort. So the two of you are there on top of the barn. Okay, so the rest of the party, what are you doing?
I'd maybe just kind of patrol to where the guys are close by sa kanila. Is the place where that thing was burned close to sa guys or medyo malayo?
What do you mean?
Yung place kung saan nangyari yung fake burn.
What do you mean, like close to what? I
Like,
don't
am I
understand.
if I approach that place, would I be close to the vantage point to where they are?
Uh, Vantage point, not necessarily. Pero you do see them somewhat. It's probably around, ay, naka-tiles pala to. 30, let's say, 60 feet from the vantage point.
Okay, okay. I'll I'll probably just patrol around that area since that's where the event happened. So kind of drawn to that place.
Yeah, okay. So what are you doing? You just stay there?
Yeah, I'll just patrol. You know,
Okay.
kind of.
So, patrolling, let's see.
I'll join Paxin patrolling DM.
Okay, okay. So, make perception checks for me if you're patrolling.
Okay, okay. That's +2 on perception. Let's go. Then that's a 12 for me.
So then,
All right. As essentially, let's take this as a watch. No. So, essentially, I'd like to know like how long you guys are watching, or if you intend to get some sleep to take some rest before the day happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Ako I'd like to do this for 4 hours and then so I have a full long rest the following day. So I'd like to have
Okay.
shifting
Sige. So, everybody roll a perception check for me na. Tapos I'll just
in general.
assume na parang magkaroon kayo ng interchange of watch duty. 6, 7.
18.
18.
All right. With an 18. Okay. At this point, no, it's probably around 2 to 3 a.m. The rest of some of the party members have already fallen asleep, and you are taking watch. And you do see a number of townsfolk that are patrolling still. With an 18, you do see a group of people, a group of townsfolk like talking to each other. And after a while, they just disperse and go around. They go around the houses to check if the families are safe. There's no panic or anything. Essentially, just investigating all throughout the night. You do see them rotate shifts, fresher faces you've not seen before. You see a like an elderly, thin person with glasses on, kind of like frantically looking around. He's visibly kind of like very nervous, scared. He's kind of like looking around, is patrolling, and he is approached by one of the townsfolk, kind of like reassures him a little bit, and kind of like leads him back to his own hut. You gather that he might be one of the fathers of the lost children. But aside from that, nothing untoward happens this night. And is there anything else you'd like to do before you sleep?
I guess I'm no. I guess I will. I'm good.
Okay. So you fall asleep and you wake around, let's say, around 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning. And breakfast is prepared to you. And Tevye is there in good spirits, optimistic. He's happy that nothing has happened that night. Nothing untoward happened. Everyone is accounted for. You do notice that he does go around talking to the patrols, checks whether or not anybody was taken or if anything untoward has happened. But yeah, an uneventful night. It seems he seems to be very pleased that at least that your presence has provided some level of security to them. So yeah, So what is essentially David then asks you, so what do you plan to do today? What is the course of action you'd like to take?
I'd like to prepare my things for the. I think we're going to the lizard folk, so I'd like to prepare
Yeah,
our things.
you gather your stuff. Some of the traveling packs you probably can leave behind. Devi offers you some security there for your items.
Okay.
Promises nothing bad will happen so that you will travel lighter as you
Okay.
proceed to the Lizard Marsh. So,
As I. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
anong gusto mo gawin?
No, I was just trying to check things on my person.
Nothing was missing. No?
Do I find the thing that Chava snipped?
What?
Di
Ano?
ba Chava play something in my pocket? Chava?
No, no, no. What you
Okay.
didn't see was she was holding on to something in her pocket.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, okay. I got it. Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Right. So you travel to the lizard folk. So fast forward na tayo dun, nothing really happens. Except when you encounter, as you were traveling across towards the lizard marsh, there is a checkpoint. Like you can see it probably 200 feet away. You can spot it. Na parang, uy, may settlement dun. What would you like to do? Would you like to go around the camp? Or would you like to go through it?
Settlement of what, DM? Yung mga ano yan?
Same
Flaming
checkpoint.
fist.
Mga red.
Mm.
Okay, flaming fist din.
Oh, we can ask for information from them if you want.
You
Yeah, help is
But it
help.
should be someone
I mean,
else asking, not me.
Yeah.
Help is help, I guess. I mean, we are mercenaries. There should probably be no reason for them to hold us.
Cleric, go. Sorry, wait lang. Cleric, go with him. Go ask for directions.
Okay. Oh no, Becca. My map is missing. Okay, so ano na lang natin to, i-theater of the mind na lang natin for now. So
Okay.
nawawala yung map ko. But okay, so you choose to approach the camp?
Yep.
Okay, you approach and you do see a different set of soldiers, probably 5 of them. And they're lazily kind of like watching over. They don't really pay much attention. And one soldier does see you and clock you because you're not really. I was assuming you're not really proceeding stealthily.
Yeah.
And they ask you, "Hail, sir. Where are you traveling? Are you leaving?"
And I hail back. Hail, good sir. And I introduce ourselves. We are looking for a child because of the mayor's behest. And basically, since we are traveling to the next populace, the lizard folk, maybe we
You're
could
traveling
find
to the lizard
me.
folk.
I'm sorry.
Are you traveling to the lizard marsh?
We are. We are actually. Why? Is there something wrong?
Well, I wouldn't advise you folks going there because of the recent news of raids and bandits of the lizard folk. They have turned pretty
Hostile, huh?
violent.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're trying to stop people from entering this space from them. So
I see. Oh, that is very alarming. Well, uh, we are unfortunately very obliged to the mayor to kind of at least do what we can in order for us to provide him news or whatnot. Rest assured, if we find that these things are hostile, we will turn back. There is no need for us to engage them in any violence. We are as careful with our lives as any other maps. But we would like to see just for our own eyes, what's going on, and so we could give a clearer picture of what we can tell to the mayor.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir. I think you should just head back.
I see. I see. Well, uh, we will just look from a certain vantage point. We will not approach. We just really want to have our own report and not be dependent of other people's reports on what we see in the area.
No, I don't think I can let you through.
I see. Well, I bow down. I proceed. Well, you keep doing what you're doing here. You're doing a very good job of keeping the peace here. Uh, and I turn to the cleric. Well, we heard what the man said, and you should respect uh, their wishes. What say you,
I
Um,
cleric?
guess so.
are you being
Ilan sila
truthful?
doon, DM?
You see five.
5.
Hmm.
Is there another route ba that I can see?
This is the main route. A more direct route. You can go around maybe, but that would take probably a while for you to do so.
DM, at this point, I get my badge
hmm
and show it to them.
Ah, you're from the guild then. Not from our guild, but a guild.
Yes, a fellow mercenary like you. So, um, would you let us pass then?
Sorry, sir. I can't really do that.
Alrighty. We're not here to cause trouble.
In fact, we're here to solve trouble. So, thank you for your time.
Dito kaya.
Are you backsassing the officer right now, bro?
Yes.
And so I just turn and I smile. I just turn and approach the party away from the guard. And then, well, that was a plan. Didn't work, obviously. Any other suggestions? These guards are staunch in them guarding the passage.
5 yung
Ah,
visible, no?
I'd like
Yeah.
to calculate the time it would take us to get to get to the Lizard Marsh by taking the other route versus going to Misty Forest, which will take longer.
You would probably, kasi it took you about already about 2 hours to get to this checkpoint.
Mhm.
If you go back and proceed to the it would take you about 8 hours maybe.
To the Lizard Marsh?
If you go around,
Yeah,
siguro plus 4 hours. If
plus
you,
four.
kasi you would have to move. I'm assuming that if you move around, tapos there are patrols pa that you might need to move stealthily.
So it
Mhm.
will take 8 hours to get to the Misty Forest from here, and then 4 hours if we
Walk around.
Go
walk
around.
around,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Kayo guys, based on that information.
Well, we
Yeah, I
can't
just
go
want
through.
work around na lang.
We can't go through without messing with these guards. So
Guys, okay yan, ikaw.
You're
We can knock
asking.
them out. Pero yun nga, sayang din ng ano. Kasi they're keeping peace din kasi.
they're not really the enemy. So
If what they say is true, sorry, through tuloy. If what they say is true, then we might as well just go back. We can always take another route. So I'm suggesting that we take the other route, yung 4 hour route. And if what they say is true that the enemies have gone or the lizard folk have gone rogue, then it's probably best if we na lang. If we
Wouldn't it be a good idea to find out why
yeah,
they've gone rogue?
yeah. Yeah, we can probably do that. We can in character. We can find out why. We can probably take one of them alive if they are hostile. But
Okay.
if not, we can always reason with him.
So I guess it's the stealth route.
Yeah.
Did we
we
insight? Wala na tayo nag-insight, no? If they're telling the truth na they're
Wala eh.
just
Wala may
it
insight
doesn't
eh.
it,
yeah.
it
Mababa
doesn't it
wisdom ko
doesn't
eh.
matter. it doesn't matter. Kasi ganun pa rin naman. Whether they're telling the truth or not, they're not gonna let us through and we don't.
Because if they're telling a lie, then there's another information, and then we can.
Kill them for it.
Yep. No, not really kill, but you know,
I mean,
interrogate
if
something.
they let me know, if they're a patrol, I don't know. I honestly don't. If we kill them, the patrols will see them. They will immediately suspect us. So let's just go around through it na lang.
Yep.
Hmm.
We go
Okay,
around.
going around. Going around, going around. Okay, so make a group stealth check for me, please.
I have
Oh, God.
disadvantage because of heavy armor.
Ay, ano ba yung feature yun? Yung Blessing of the Trickster ba yun? Cast it to Caan para
Para
may
flat.
advantage siya. So, naging flat na. Flat roll ka na Caan.
Rolled a 19.
I like what I'm seeing.
Oh, I 6. Fucking hell.
Okay, so they rolled a 3 and 4, so nilang perception checks.
I have 15. I have 15.
So you do manage to stealthily give a wide berth and proceed through. You do see or clock patrols, but you manage to patiently wait them out, and you manage to proceed to nearer and nearer to the Lizard Marsh. Okay, Lizard Marsh. In the distance, you notice and you start to smell the sound, the smell of the sea, as the Lizard Marsh are a collection of small islets around that connect to the greater the sea of the sea. Kung ano tawag ng ocean na yun?
Yung inlet.
No.
Pacific
See the map.
Ocean.
No, the Sword Coast, the ano mismo, the Sea of Swords.
Beside the ano. Oh.
So you proceed through that checkpoint, and it's kind of like very rough terrain where you're going through, so it does take you some time. But you do manage to start to see some lizard folk going about. There are like small settlements around. They're busy like carrying certain like goods around. You see like a small encampment of lizards, lizard folk, humanoid lizards that are wearing commoners' garbs, and you see different types of individuals playing different types of characters and stuff. So it's just a very pretty normal town, but except they're lizards, essentially. So para kayo na transport into something quite you're not used to seeing. But generally, no, the feel of this area is strangely pleasing. Parang there's nothing wrong, or there's the violence that was communicated to you earlier. Parang
So
you
they
can't
were lying.
you don't really see it. No. In the distance, you do see surrounding there are encampments around surrounding this large tent, or parang a triangular house that's there. So let me take you there. I'ma take you there.
We're slowly putting up an profile of the red fist tuloy,
Flaming fist.
the flaming fist. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Oxy Sir next. Sorry about that. Someone subscribed.
Hey, let's go. Welcome to the game.
Did they provide proof ba?
No, they
What
just
sort
said
of
it.
proof?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so okay, wala. Are you hidden? Where are you hidden? Reveal. Do you see yourself? Do you see the map? Huh?
Yeah, we're in the map now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So surrounding you, di parang are you proceeding stealthily? How are you proceeding through this encampment?
Is it like a swampy area siya, no?
Not really swampy. Alam mo yung parang yung beach na maraming islets. Parang ganun.
Oh.
It's not swamp, it's salt water. So para siyang
A marsh? Ano ba yun?
yeah, it's sort of like a tawag yan?
Parang mga sandbar, ganun.
Yeah, parang ganon,
Mga
but
mangrove.
it's covered mangroves. Yeah, that's the thing that I've been. So parang may
Okay.
mangrove plantation sila going around here. Who's
Okay,
missing?
so
Illidan.
Asan kami?
okay.
Oh, you're here. Sorry. Okay.
I don't think we should stealth. I mean, we might present ourselves as hostile.
Yeah,
Stealth.
agreed. We
You
should
can always
look friendly.
present.
I'll be at the
Yeah,
back of the
and
party.
Yeah.
I'll maybe we could present ourselves as traders. Here to communicate, reach out.
I
Yeah.
hide.
Okay.
I hide my
Okay,
long
so-
sword. Sorry, go ahead, DM. Sorry.
So you approach as a group, kind of like almost transactionally looking for business or tourists and stuff. No. You do notice that there are groups of like small lizards, lizard folk, children running around playing. There is a mother of them kind of like chasing them as you approach and kind of like looks at you and smiles. But welcome, hey, do you speak common?
And I smile. Yes, my lady, we do.
Welcome to the Lizards Marsh. It's nice to see travelers here. Can I help you?
Yes.
We're looking for Vimo, guys.
We're looking for Vimo. Is he
Oh.
around?
Vinmo, yes. He points towards the large structure that you're seeing here in this camp. He's that guy there, and you see Vinmo is hindi naman siya large, but he's a hulking figure, lizard.
Oh shit.
And at the back of his parang sheath at his back is a large serrated blade. And he seems to be talking to a group of kobolds. At this point, and you see them kind of like exchanging something. So you gather that it might be a transaction of some sort. That's Vinmo over there, so you can just approach him.
Okay.
And have a nice day. And he goes to chase the children.
I tell the party we are not too sure, so be careful. Just be careful. And
Okay,
then
I cast Mage Armor.
I approach like in a transactional gesture, and I wave towards Vinmo. Hail, Vinmo! I tell him.
Vinmo looks at you kind of like very suspiciously, but he kind of nods, and he lifts his very muscular right arm, and he motions for you to come closer.
I approach.
Okay, you guys approach, and you meet Vinmo as he's closing the transaction. Speaks in Draconic. Can anyone understand Draconic?
I know Celestial and Draconic, DM.
Okay, so you gather that they're transacting certain goods. Kobolds are you gather that so are you sure that we could sell dragon scales for you for this price, and you can get it to us at a higher scale, and we can provide you a supply of dragon scales ever so often. Since our master sheds dragon scales. Oh, absolutely. Yes, Vidmo. Absolutely. Just bring the dragon scales here. I will turn you a profit, give you the good margin, and we can do business definitely. Just as long as your master doesn't burn us alive. Ha ha ha. Do you laugh? Ha ha ha.
I snicker
Okay,
a little bit.
Oh, nice to meet you. And the kobolds kind of like see you, and just
I'm
look
just
at you.
curious if that's your flaw, and you're a racist.
No, it's not. I laughed at the burn us alive part, dude.
They kind of
Yeah.
like look at you. Yuck. And they turn away.
Okay, now I'm pissed.
I approach Vinmo and I curtsy. Like, hail, Vinmo. We are travelers from even beyond. I forgot the name of the town. Looking for trade and profit. We have heard much from you from the mayor, Teva, and we're looking maybe if we could maybe if you have the time to speak with us regarding trade and other concerns.
You mean Tevye?
Yes, Mayor Tevye,
How is he?
we've
I've
uh,
not seen him for at least 10 days. Not heard from him either.
parang Tax's face kind of like turns a bit parang sad, and then unfortunately there were some goings on in the town which prevented trade, and we are actually here because we are looking for clues as to why that tragedy happened, and I
What
explained
tragedy?
I explained to Vinmo that some of the children went missing, so it kind of hampered um, trade because the townsfolk were more concerned or were prioritizing their children.
I see. Uh,
Funny part is, if I may interject, there's this mercenary group who claims that you people are violent. Apparently,
oh,
it's not true.
those assholes. Baldurians. Well, they've been giving us a hard time because apparently they stopped one of the main roads heading towards here. So we'd have to go through and pass through certain beaches so that we can proceed with trade. It's kind of surprised you're not with them, seeing that you're here. I don't see any Baldurian garments or badges around you.
We're
Well,
definitely not connected with them.
we wanted to find the truth out for ourselves, and that's what we're here for, to find out the truth of what's going on.
Well, I don't know. We've been sending word in our trading party to Gillian's Hill, but unfortunately, we were stopped at the checkpoint. They said that we could no longer trade with them for some security reasons. We did not press because we didn't want to create any conflict. But yeah, essentially, we were importing cheese from Tevye. Yes, excellent cheese, and we were transporting them to different cities in Waterdeep, some in Baldur's Gate, even as far as Chult.
Oh, nice.
So
Uh,
it was really unfortunate that our supply of cheese ran out. Some establishments have sent feedback that they were cutting their supply of cheese, and unfortunately, we had to pursue another supplier.
mm. Did the Baldurians mention anything as to what that pressing concern was, at least from their end?
Are we do not we did not want to press because we do want to avoid um, gaining the reputation of being forceful.
Mm.
Uh, but we do recognize that there are certain we did not bother to ask them any further. We just respected that they didn't want our folk to be going around and trading with them anymore.
Mm. That's very unfortunate, seeing as a lot can be made. The opportunities lost because of the event happening. Um, so did so you haven't heard of any news regarding the tragedy that's befallen the town?
No, like I said, I had no idea.
Inside check DM. Just
Go ahead.
checking for general clues about body language of uh to see if he's deceiving us or something.
Yep, go ahead.
I'll do the same.
Same DM.
Nope. I believe him.
Inside 1d20 plus 30. Okay, I believe them. It's 4. I'm too overwhelmed by his.
You won.
So I kind of like, okay, I understand. Conflict is never a good thing for trade. Um, Tell me, Vinmo, the town that you've been trading with, uh, how long have you been here? I mean, um, were you here before the town even existed?
What do you mean? Do I look like I'm 1,000 years old?
Parang Pax when catches himself. I apologize. I didn't mean it that way. I
I
just
understand. You folk have little understanding of where we come from, and it's understandable. We've been making trade with. If you're asking about our history with the town, we've not had. It's only recently that we had a good relationship with Tevye because of our reputation. We built our business and started to communicate with them, and eventually they began to trust us because we look different. Some people were apprehensive to giving us business, but eventually we began to build that trust. And I've always told Tevye that he has such excellent products, and I've always told him that he has such a great potential in penetrating the greater market of cheese, even better than some of the rising cheese productions that are, prevalent in around this area. There's something about Devious cheese that's really good.
indeed we've had a taste of his products, of his wares, and they are indeed very delightful. Hmm. Well, we do not want to bother you unnecessarily. We are just here to find the truth out, and apparently, these Waldurians are spreading rumors and lies, which really isn't good for trade for either you or the town. And we had to really find that out for ourselves. Um, and and with the information you have, uh, it's sad that they would treat you in such veiled manner. Um, well, as I said, I am not familiar with your race's um, culture, and I apologize. It's just that we are also trying to look for information regarding the settlers or an event that happened maybe eons ago or years ago in the town. We were hoping that you might have some information. If
No,
you do not, then it's totally fine. Okay, okay.
sorry. I wish I did. But otherwise, we're just focused on the present.
Understood. Understood. And I turn to the party and I kind of like shrug. So I kind of like mouth na parang wala, nothing, nada.
You hear a voice from the opposite side of the house. It says, "Venmo, where would you like to put this cheese? Just put it inside the storage there." You see them like carrying boxes of but wooden boxes around.
Mind I
Just
ask,
carrying.
Vinmo, who's your
Hmm?
new supplier of cheese?
This lady named Millie Churglo and Churglo cheese.
Real bro cheese. I see.
Churglo.
And where are they from? Is she from a different place far away
No,
from
no,
here?
not far actually. Just there at Liam's Hold. Actually, they're one of the more popular cheese suppliers around, and they have multiple farms and suppliers around. So I, I didn't really want to go into business with them because they were so well known already. I wanted to, introduce a new product and become a supplier of that. Unfortunately, we had to supply cheese to our suppliers to keep our business afloat.
I see.
Understood.
Well, to tell you
Understood.
the truth, Vinmo, the reason why we came here is we thought that you would have some information on the disappearances of children back in Davis Town.
My gosh.
We wanted.
I have 20 children, so I would know. I love them. And if any one of them would go missing, I would go on a fucking rampage.
I see. So that would imply that you haven't lost any yet.
Um, yeah, I hope it stays that way.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Thank you for your time, Winmo. And
Oh, would you
hopefully,
like to buy anything
how
from the
much?
shop?
How much for the cheese?
It's 5 gold for a box.
Fuck, 5 gold.
Oh,
I don't
five
have
gold.
5 gold.
There are some cheaper cheeses, of course. Like there's a box of 10 silver pieces, but not really good if you ask me. But if you want to try the top shelf, I do have some of Devious reformed cheese here. It goes well with this kind of wine. Let me grab it for you. I'll give a sampler for you. He goes back to the tent, comes back, produces a small bottle of wine with Devious cheese.
Okay.
This combination I've been telling Tevye is magical. There's nothing better in the entire Sword Coast that goes with it than this combination of wine and cheese.
So it's much
This
better than
will
Churro, right?
knock your socks off. Well, choco is pretty good, but kind of like goes well with everything. But this specific combination, heavenly. Try it.
Pax kind of tastes it, takes a small bite, and downs it with
Okay.
a bit
So-
of wine.
Yung lasa ng cheese, you know, because you've tasted the cheese before.
Right.
But as soon as you eat the cheese, tapos you drink the wine, something happens in your palate. It's really mind blowing how good it is.
Mm. So
But it's
parang-
really really good.
yeah. It amplifies the taste of the wine. You're right. The wine is good, but with the cheese, it tastes sweeter.
I've been telling Tevye like what his secret is, but it's maybe the land. I don't know.
The land.
Indeed.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I've tried cheeses before, but not quite. It doesn't produce this kind of chemistry. Interesting. If you don't mind, Vinmo, the package from where the other cheese you imported. Maybe see the package. Just for the
Oh.
purpose of maybe knowing the brand.
Of course,
maybe?
of course. It shows you because they provide Venmo like a large parang bulk order of cheese. They repackage it and they distribute. So
Okay.
this one, there's no specific branding to the cheese itself, but you notice that the crate has a mark or a brand of Churro cheese.
Okay.
So sa kasulat sa baba, not for sale.
Okay. 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 We'll take note of and then parang tax ka na smile. We'll take note of application. Thank you so much for your time then, Vinmo. This is very interesting, and hopefully when things get better, we look forward to maybe crossing paths with you and perhaps trading with you.
Absolutely, I send Tevye my regards. He's a friend. He has grown to be one of my close friends here. I miss him, so send him my regards.
We will, and as soon as this whole thing is over, we hope that trade resumes soon.
All right, and he goes back to his business.
And then at the end of the party, that's it. It could be that the lady who runs the cheese may be paying off the Baldurians to sabotage Tavia's trade.
What do the children have to do with it?
We don't know. We don't know.
I guess
but
we
this-
will find out by getting to the Misty Forest then.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
off to see the wizard.
All right, guys, it's 1 a.m. So my question to you is: would you like to continue because I can still continue, or would you like to resume some other time?
You can do
Resume
this
na
whole
lang
day.
ako.
Ako resume na din.
No, I need to go. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so at this point, let's just end our session here,
Okay.
in the Lizard Marshes. So next time, let's proceed to
RP
We'll
the
session.
next chapter of the story.
we'll update DM. I might not be available. We'll just update.
Next week.
Kasi
Ah.
Game ni EJ next week. So I am just the filler.
Pakita na lang kasi. Ayaw nyo pa eh.
Mm.
Pero sige. Actually, I'm ready for probably 4 sessions starting next week. Pero kung unfortunately, kung di ka available, sayang kasi marami kang mamimiss doon sa sa adventure ng party.
Kasi the dog
Again?
thing.
Gotcha. Hanggang next week hindi siya available. Okay, noted.
We'll see pa. We'll meet tomorrow pa.
Okay, sige. Alright guys, I need to go. Good night guys. GG. Have a great night.
GG,
GG.
boys. Thank you, DM.
Thanks,
Thanks,
DM.
yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.